All right, we should be getting ready to go live any moment. And we are live right now. Thank y'all for joining tonight. This is ABL Live. I'm glad you're here with me. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me, and I really, really appreciate you for that. It's quite a bit on deck for tonight. Of course, you already know what it is. We got to talk about Bob Mueller stumbling and bumbling through the, what was that, Inquisition? I'm not quite sure what that congressional hearing was that lasted the entire day. You know, I started to go live and cover that here on this channel, but I was like, okay, 8:30 to when? 5 o'clock almost. I don't have that much time in the day. Let's let them handle that, and we'll just sift through what remains afterwards. There's quite a bit of news to talk about. We got to talk about that hate hoax, the most recent one. Justice Smollett 2.0. Erica Thomas talking about, oh, the white man told me to go back to where I came from. Meanwhile, it seems like she is the one that told him to go back to where she came from, according to one of the employees at the Publix that was there and witnessed the whole situation. I knew from the beginning it was a hoax. How you going to be a trillion years pregnant with a Planned Parenthood t-shirt on? How much sense does that make? Obviously, this was a political stunt. And I'm glad that guy stood up to her and said, no, you're not going to do this to me. You're not going to play me and use me as a political stunt. We'll talk about all that and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live, and I'm glad y'all are watching. Thank y'all for being here. You could be anywhere in the whole wide world, but you're right here with me, right on the channel. Thank y'all for joining. It's a lot to cover. A whole lot of stuff has been happening, mainly the Bob Mueller situation. Now, Bob Mueller, I mean, like I said from the beginning of this video, and if you're watching just now coming in, please give it a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff for me. But when they said 8:30, I'm like, okay, maybe I'll be able to cover it. But then my mind was like, no, that's going to be all day. I was, peeping in there from time to time, watching what was happening, and it was really crazy to see how he was handling himself. It was pretty embarrassing, I'd say. Definitely so. You talking about a guy that looked like Joe Biden out there. I understand Joe Biden, senior citizen, but at a certain point, it's time to retire. And you know what? I think Bob Mueller was retired, wasn't he? He was dragged out of retirement to come do this witch hunt thing. And then he was dragged out again to do this congressional testimony. He said that he was not going to do any kind of testifying. He said he was not going to do or say anything that was outside of the Mueller report. I'm not sure why he didn't stick to that. He should have just said, okay, I said from the beginning, I won't be testifying anymore. The report is the report. It was pretty much cut and dry. So why even come back? I mean, did he have a choice? I'm not really sure. I just don't know. But whatever the case may be, he was stumbling and bumbling. It looked like he didn't know what was in the report himself. They're saying, oh, on page X, Y, and Z, you said X, Y, and Z. He's like, oh, for real, I did. Oh, what page you on? Can I see it? He didn't know what was going on in the whole report that he wrote, allegedly. Obviously a guy like that is not going to write the report. He's just going to be the point man that's in charge of conducting the operation. But he's not going to be up in D.C. at 3 o'clock in the morning writing reports. That's not what he does. So obviously he's not going to be the guy necessarily that you go to figure out the ins and outs and ins of the report. So I don't even know why you had him in there. Bring in the staffers and whatnot who conducted it. I mean, who actually wrote it. He conducted the investigation, but what does it actually do as far as the report itself? It was meaningless, really. And what can he say that is going to give you any more clarity as to what happened? Well, I'll tell you what he did say, which we've all known for a long time, which was in the report. But what he confirmed to us is that there's no collusion, no obstruction. One point that was pretty clear in the testimony that I saw was when he said, when asked, was there anyone preventing you from carrying out the investigation, any kind of obstruction into investigation? He says, no, there was nothing stopping me from doing what I had to do. So there's no obstruction of justice there. Obstruction of justice is when, or in this case, it's if Trump did anything to prevent Mueller from conducting an investigation. People are saying on the left, oh, obstruction of justice, obstruction of justice. He did that. He's guilty of that. He's a quote unquote felon. I think it might have been little Adam Schiff talking about, no, matter of fact, Pardon me. It was Ted Lieu. Ted Lieu says, we have a felon in the White House. Really? I can't tell. Where's the charge? Let alone conviction. We talking about felon. There's nothing there. Even the guy himself, were you saying that the quote unquote felony was committed against, said that there was no obstruction of justice. There was no way that his investigation was impeded at all. So the Democrats lost. He looked crazy out there, just mumbling and stumbling. But you know what? Like I said from the jump, leave that old man alone. You're 70-something years old. You're not old, but you're old enough. You know, his mannerisms and the way he was going, you could tell that he wasn't all the way there. He was retired already. Let that man stay retired. Go out on the beach, kick his feet up. There's no reason for him to be here. There's a reason for anybody to be here conducting this witch hunt of an investigation. There's no purpose for what? Why? You're not going to find anything. Well, I know the purpose. I know the reason, and the reason is because the Democrats are trying to get Trump out of office. They can't control him. They can't do anything with him. He's not a puppet. So they want to get him out of office. It's really simple, you know. And in the testimony, I forget who that was. It might have been Adam Schiff talking about, was the investigation the witch hunt? He says, no, it wasn't. Yes, it was. It's pretty clear. By his own admission, indirectly, it was. No collusion, no obstruction. So what are we talking about here? And one thing that I like also was when they were talking about Fusion GPS, because they spoke about a dossier and stuff like that. But what about Fusion GPS, Christopher Steele, the British intelligence officers who got information from the quote unquote Russians? Why was that not in the Mueller report? Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I misheard something today. But the Fusion GPS thing was not really covered too well, although it should have been. Okay, you have Hillary Clinton and her campaign colluding with foreign nationals to get dirt on Trump, which wound up being fake. Talking about, we had hookers peeing in the bed that Barack and Michelle were in. I mean, stupid stuff, right? Things that are just patently false on their face without doing any kind of investigation. That didn't make any sense when you just read it or you hear it. But where's the investigation and deep dive in probing into how that whole thing came about? You got foreign agents involved. You got people that are running for president involved, candidates involved, campaigns involved. Why was that not covered? But yet Donald Trump situation with Trump Jr. meeting in Trump Tower, talking to a Russian lady about adoption or something stupid like that. That was covered. Okay. But the Democrats who arranged that meeting were not covered. So what's really going on with that whole situation? It obviously was a witch hunt. It's one-sided, because if you have people that have done things that could be considered wrong, you're talking to foreign nationals, foreign agents about people that are currently running for president. You should have all those who have done a thing or who are accused of doing a thing investigated equally, not just have one side investigated while the other side who is accused of or has been proven to do the same thing get let off the hook. That's not how things should work in this country. I think we were able to see all that in the actual testimony today, and it was beautiful to see. I'm not really sure how now they keep up this whole collusion kerfuffle, this whole collusion story. It's all fake at this point, and that's exactly why we say the media is fake, the news are fake. You know, these people talking about, I'm talking about journalists, they're saying that, it's improper for the president to call us fake news. It's endangering us. Well, the president is just telling the truth. We the American people, we tell the truth too. We see the fake news all the time and we're just tired of it. Everybody's tired of it. It's to the point now where you expect much of the mainstream media to put out fake stuff. It's like, not even, if you hear a thing that's actual real news from the media, you're surprised. It's like, wow, CNN said this about that. And matter of fact, I think that's what I saw today. Is I saw Chuck Todd talk about the testimony today. And what did he say? He says there are narrative nightmares for Democrats. I was like, okay, Chuck Todd, you're doing better. All right. You're at least recognizing something that's right in front of your face, because a lot of times, CNN, NBC, etc., they'll just make up stuff or they will ignore certain obvious things. Okay. It could be a Volkswagen Beetle in your living room that just crashed through. You say, it ain't nothing there. You're seeing things. It's like, sir, you have a whole classic car with green candy paint on your coffee table. You see it right here. I'm looking at it with you. And you act like it's not there. But now, at least they are seeing some obvious things. There's a clear narrative nightmare. There's clear things that were wrong with the testimony. It was obvious to see. And I hope that there is not much more testimony from Bob Mueller, because what more can be said? At this point, you're taking that dead horse from the grave and beating them back up. Because like I said, Bob Mueller was retired. He's a dead horse. It's like, look, man, I don't want no more to do with it. I'm just, enjoying my life, my twilight years, hanging out, chilling. But you want to bring me back over and over? Leave me alone. Just let me do what I do, which is what you should do. The man was barely able to keep himself together and composed on stage, searching for words, all this and that. It's like, come on, man, what are we doing? Yes, that's right. See you later. The general chant from the left will be Orange Man bad, Orange Man racist, because it ain't nothing else to say. There's no collusion. There's no obstruction of justice. There's no improper relations with the Russian Federation. It ain't none of that going on. So what are you going to say next? And shout out to Trump for sending this email, which is hilarious. I can't put it on the screen because I can't show you my stuff, but it's like an email blast to his list, and it has like 3 videos in it from the Mueller testimony today. I've never seen a thing like this. Barack Obama would never do a thing like this. I've never seen this level of, I don't know how you would say it, this level of sophistication in the presidency. But the first video says, a quote from Bob Mueller: "The investigation did not establish that members of the Trump campaign conspired with the Russian government in its election interference activities." So there's no collusion with the Russian Federation. That is what he's saying. Or he's saying you couldn't establish it. It's the same thing. You can't establish it after all $30 million in years of work and all kind of subpoenas, people going to jail, indictments. You can't establish that connection after all those resources. Maybe it didn't happen. But the next one is that Special Counsel Robert Mueller confirms his investigation was not curtailed, stopped, or hindered at any point. There's no obstruction. And then the last point, it says Robert Mueller says he cannot name a single other example where investigators treated someone the way he treated real Donald Trump. And it said rigged witch hunt, which is hilarious. It's simple. I mean, I feel like this is worse than when Bill Clinton got caught with Monica Lewinsky. I feel like it's worse than that. And that was pretty bad. I remember watching that when I was a little kid, and that whole thing with the impeachment. I feel like it's worse than that. They're trying to push for impeachment here, but what are you going to get him on? What is the actual example? You think he's a mean person? He's not very nice to you. He hurts your feeling. Is that enough to get you impeached? I don't think it is. Let's come with some actual legal reasons, some real facts and figures, not just somebody making up stuff for the sake of making up stuff. That ain't really how it works. The email, thank you to Norman Jacobs, who says, what email did you get the Trump blast from? I guess it's from his website, DonaldTrump.com. Yeah, DonaldTrump.com. So, yeah, matter of fact, I think the reason why I get email blasts is because I bought some merchandise. Like, I have the hat behind me. You can't see it. It's out of frame, but I have the hat back there, the MAGA hat that I got straight from his website. So I put it in my email, and it probably came through that way. You probably can sign up for it. But, yeah, anytime I get a thing like this that happens, I get an email blast to let you know what's really going on. 100%. So, yeah, we're going to get into all that. Thank y'all for watching. Oh, yeah, the room is packed, 600 deep. Hey, y'all, you guys are doing great. I appreciate y'all. If you're just now coming in, please give the video a thumbs up, share the video, do all that good stuff for me. And if you're not subscribed already, I don't know what you're doing. Go ahead and subscribe to me right now, and I'd appreciate that a whole bunch. But, yeah, you guys let me know about Bob Mueller. Super chat if you can so I can see what's going on. I try to read your comments as much as I can, but sometimes I kind of I just can't see everything. But, yeah, there's not much there to the whole Bob Mueller thing. I hope that the Democrats are just going to back off. I don't know what else they really want to, what else is there to do now? You got a lot of Democrats or leftist people in media and also in politics that are kind of like, well, what do we do now? It ain't much more. Impeachment is over. I think it was a guy from New York Times or somewhere that said impeachment is over. You're talking about liberals that are hopeless. I don't know what they were expecting. It's like after the testimony, they're disappointed. But what were you expecting, really? Did you actually expect for there to be a real, a thing here with this? I just don't understand. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find it right quick. Yeah, ABC reporter after Mueller hearing Impeachment's over. So it's like, what did you actually expect? ABC News correspondent Terry Moran said that the movement to impeach President Trump is over after Bob Mueller testified in front of the House Judiciary Committee. Yeah, there it is. Now, I'm not really sure who that is. It could be on the right, left, or whatever. But now the mainstream media are allowing these kind of narratives to be put out there because it's the truth. Ain't no more impeachment. What is there to impeach somebody on? There's nothing. I mean, maybe somebody might think there's something just by not going off of facts, but the facts say that there's nothing to go off of. What are you gonna? No collusion, no obstruction, no nothing. What do you have? You have nothing. You have faith. You have hope. Like Barack Obama, hope and change, right? You got that, but you don't have any kind of real evidence, no strong actual information to go off of. So what can you really say? Not much, really. So I wonder what the narrative is going to be. What's going to be the next thing they go and say now? What they're going to say? Oh, Orange Man bad, Trump's racist. Like, what's going to be the next thing? They can't go with this whole Russia collusion thing anymore. Maybe they can go with it, but there's nothing to back it up. You had this whole investigation that lasted years and took $30 million, and you were not able to actually generate anything from that. So what do you have? Nothing. So it's pretty simple, but I got a lot of videos on that. I'm going to do a video tomorrow recapping the whole situation with video clips. I'll play one here. I'm going to see how this sounds right quick.
The Democrats have argued for nearly 3 years that evidence of collusion is hidden just around the corner. Like the Loch Ness Monster, they insist it's there, even if no one can find it. Consider this. In March 2017, Democrats on this committee said they had more than circumstantial evidence of collusion, but they couldn't reveal it yet. Mr. Mueller was soon appointed, and they said he would find the collusion.
That's right.
Then when no collusion was found in Mr. Mueller's indictments, the Democrats said we'd find it in his final report.
Right.
Then when there was no collusion in the report, we were told Attorney General Barr was hiding it. Then when it was clear Barr wasn't hiding anything,
right,
we were told it will be revealed through a hearing with Mr. Mueller himself.
Mm-hmm.
And now that Mr. Mueller is here, they are claiming that the collusion has actually been in his report all along.
Oh, really?
Hidden in plain sight.
Ah.
And they're right. There is collusion in plain sight. Collusion between Russia and the Democratic Party.
Yes, that's right. Preach.
The Democrats colluded with Russian sources to develop the Steele dossier.
Yes.
And Russian lawyer Natalia Vesnitskaya colluded with the dossier's key architect, Fusion GPS head Glenn Simpson. The Democrats have already admitted, both in interviews and through their usual anonymous statements to reporters, that today's hearing is not about getting information at all. They said they want to, quote, bring the Mueller report to life and create a television moment.
Right.
Through ploys like having Mr. Mueller recite passages from his own report. In other words, this hearing is political theater.
There it is. I mean, shout out to Devin Nunes. I mean, hey, I couldn't say it no better myself. 1,000%, 100%. And you know what? I've been saying that from the beginning. The Democrats keep talking about collusion this, collusion that, when it's them that are doing the colluding. And they've been colluding with the quote-unquote Russians for a long time. Remember the whole thing with Hillary Clinton and the uranium one deal? You talk on the Vladimir Putin, you hugged up and cozied up with him. And then you got Bill Clinton doing speeches in Moscow for like $500,000, speaking for 10 minutes, while Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State. So was there some quid pro quo going on? Obviously there was. But we don't want to talk about that. We want to talk about Donald Trump and Trump Jr. and meetings at the Trump Tower, talking about adoption and just really mundane and stuff that is not going to actually have anything go anywhere. Just nothing. Just a witch hunt and try to get somebody really going. But yeah, shout out to my man Nunes. That was fantastically put. The Democrats have been saying it. I saw Eric Swalwell on Outnumbered with Harris Faulkner. And he said the same thing. He was like, well, we want him to bring it to life. We want to be able to, well, some people haven't heard the report yet, so we want to be able to let them hear it. It's like, okay, if I wanted to read the report, I can just search Mueller report right now and read the whole thing. Okay. he's not going to do an audio book. So what do you really want from him? What you want him to do is to do like Nunez said, engage in political theater. Nothing more, nothing less. Ain't no collusion. They kept saying, oh, it's there. It's right there. We're going to find it. Where is it at? And even after all of that, even after they couldn't find anything, they're still saying, well, we got collusion and Trump is the felonies in the White House. How? It's crazy, but you know what? That's how the left is at this point in time. I think it's quite hilarious, actually. Sad, but hilarious nonetheless. So, yeah, shout out to Harris Faulkner. And shout out to Trump Fan Network, too. Hey, Trump Fan Network, you guys subscribe to Trump Fan Network, too. My man told me about you. American Joey said that your channel got taken off and you're trying to build it back up. You had a lot of subscribers. You had like over 100,000 or something like that. So you guys subscribe to Trump Fan Network, too. Yes, indeed. Do that right now. He's right there in the chat. Or he or she, I don't want to assume nobody's gender, but they're right there in the chat. Go ahead and subscribe to him right now. Trump Fan Network, too. If I could find a link right quick and, you know, as I'm doing the show, I'll link to it in the box. And shout out to everybody in the room. Shout out to all the moderators and super chatters. You guys have been working already. I like it. I like it. Okay. Kevin Duncan says, how do I cure TDS? Hey, man, you're going to need healing, man. I don't know what else can be done. You're definitely going to need some healing. You're going to need some, you got to do some soul searching. You got to figure out a way to just get your own mind in a better place. That's the best way I can do it. Alrighty. But let me see. Oh, the super chatters. I almost forgot about you guys. Oh, and we got to talk about Erica Thomas, the hate crime hoaxer. I'll talk about her in just one moment. Let me read the super chats right quick before we get to that. Shout out to Billy Marks, who says, like all good German soldiers, Robert Mueller is just following orders. Wow. Too soon. Thank you for the donation. Definitely appreciate it. Thank you to Dr. Schockenberg, who says, Nunez and Jim Jordan made the best absolute arguments. The way that Representative Jordan tore Mueller up was as patriotic as it gets. Love your channel. Keep fighting the good fight. Much love in Lebanon, Tennessee. Hey, thank you for that. I definitely appreciate you coming from Lebanon. All righty. And thank you to Ed Nim, who says, Pelosi said today they're going to investigate cover up. Cover up from who? I mean, you got this whole investigation into collusion, obstruction, everything. So what cover up? Like, they're going to keep doing this and not get anything accomplished on their side. They're going to keep doing all these investigations. This ain't nothing but impeachment by a different name, because people may not know that impeachment is not removal from office. Impeachment is an investigation into whether you should be removed or not. And they're doing the impeachment by not actually naming it. They know if they say, okay, it's an official impeachment, then what happens is they have to get it done. If they don't get him actually removed from that process, then, I mean, he's Teflon. He has on the Superman armor. You can't touch him at that point. They'll screech all day, impeach, or investigate, but never actually pull the trigger, because they know they can't do that, because they know they're going to lose, or they don't want to risk losing because of how damaging it'd be to them. Okay. And I would say that's probably a good idea to not impeach, because you had this whole investigation that yielded a nothing burger. You understand? You were in the kitchen for 3 years cooking, but you could not produce a burger. All right. You gave me 2 buns that are totally empty. I'm eating the air sandwich. That's pretty much what they delivered to the American people. But thank you to Lydia, last name, for the donation. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Miriam Vidal, who says, watching Mueller is like going to a celebrity chef's restaurant and realizing he hasn't actually cooked a dish in the place in years and doesn't even remember the menu. Exactly. Yes, indeed. That's pretty much what it was. You had guys that were in Congress reading the report to him like, oh, we're on page 100. Remember that? Had no idea what was going on. He just in there, just in an empty space. Thank you for the donation and a very great comment. Most certainly appreciate you. Thank you to Yogi Fish for the donation, who says, thanks for your work, Anthony. Hey, I appreciate you. Thank you for your support, as always. Thank you to Norman Jacob, who says, what email did you get the Trump blast from? I think I answered that. That was from Donald J. Trump, or DonaldTrump.com with no J. Thank you to Slamming Brandon, who says, I refer you to the report the Democrats made fools of themselves. Also, a woman came forward saying Thomas said, go back to where you came from. Yes, talking about Erica Thomas, the Publix hate crime hoaxer, or not hate crime, hate speech hoaxer, hate language, offensive word hoaxer. Yeah, I talk about her. Thank you for the donation. I definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Will Redding, who says it was like watching a 75-year-old Fonzie attempt a shark jump. R.I.P. Fonzie. Yeah, pretty much. Thank you for that, man. Thank you to Billy Allen for the donation. Definitely appreciate you. But yeah, speaking about the young lady at Publix, Erica Thomas, that whole thing was fake from the beginning. She appeared to be like 1,000 months pregnant, right? And you have on the Planned Parenthood t-shirt. Why? You got a whole middle schooler almost in the background, all in the video, but you got on a Planned Parenthood t-shirt. What are you talking about? Obviously, you're not really a Planned Parenthood customer. You got all these kids roaming around and you about to pop any moment. So I knew from the beginning that it was a political thing. I had no idea that she was like in politics for real, because she's actually a state rep in Georgia. I had no idea. But when I saw that Planned Parenthood t-shirt and that giant belly, I'm like, okay, this ain't nothing but some political stuff. And then the timing of it was crazy. You talking about the whole thing with Trump just happened. Oh, the whole go back to where you came from. That just happened. Meanwhile, here you are with a Planned Parenthood t-shirt on talking about, oh, the white man said go back to where you came from. I'm like, man, come on. I don't believe any of this. This is bogus. You're a clown. And then when they saw each other at the Publix again in front of the cameras, then you saw the real Erica Thomas step forward. The head rolling and the neck snapping and finger pointing and yelling. She had a height and size advantage over this guy. I mean, even at 9 months pregnant, she could beat him down like it was nothing. So I don't think if you doing all this looking down and pointing the finger at this dude in front of the cameras that you're really that intimidated of this guy. You're not intimidated at all. You feel pretty comfortable being able to do that because of your particular stance. You know, you got emotional, you got irate, you were belligerent, and there was an argument that happened. And then you, Erica Thomas, told him, go back to where you came from. So you're a liar. She lied in front of the cameras. You're talking about a habitual liar, an habitual lying stepper. When the cameras are right there, he said, I told her, you're a lazy bitch, right? He did not say son of he said simply the word, the B word, right? But then she said, you called me an SOB. It's like, no, I didn't. I said, you're a lazy B, not a SOB. She lied right there on camera. She'll just say whatever she feels comes to her mind. You're talking about an individual that has no logic, no logic chip in that brain. It's just all emotion 100% of the time. She claims to be married. I can't tell, because where's the logic at? You would think the husband would have some kind of backbone in his, body to be able to like keep that in check. She says he's in the military. I can't tell. If he's in the military, he definitely will have some kind of backbone to make sure that this lady is not out here screaming on random dudes. And then the funny part was that he says, I'm not white. He's white, obviously, but he's Hispanic at the same time. And a Democrat, a never Trumper, a far lefty. So you picked the wrong individual to mess with. She thought that maybe I can get away with it. Ain't nobody going to say nothing. I can get on my Facebook Live and fake cry. Okay. How are you crying when you by yourself after the incident happened? When you go back to the Publix, you're not shedding no tears. You got your goon mask on and it's all fire and brimstone, finger pointing and head snapping and twirling. Obviously, you were not being yourself in the Facebook Live. Okay. Every time I hear about some kind of hate crime, it's always a hoax. It's to the point now where I see a thing like this where somebody says, oh, somebody said something to me, somebody did something to me, is always fake. Okay. People are trying to weaponize these victimization stories to get money, just like the lady, quote unquote lady. I say that loosely, in Canada. Have you guys heard about that? This is a family friendly show, so I'll just keep it PG right now. This quote unquote lady wants feminine grooming done in Canada. But the problem is that this lady still has their male genitalia. Oh, I'm gonna sue you because you don't want to wax my scrotum. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that is kind of what's going on. Oh, I'm a victim because they can't wax my scrotum. Like, come on. You're not a victim, sir. You're trying to get money. You're trying to play the system, just like Erica, just like Justice Wallen as well. Same thing with Jesse, trying to game the system, trying to get some money, trying to get some fame and fortune. Meanwhile, you get egg in your face. Everybody's like, come on, man. This is you're going too far. You're lying. You're trying to manipulate people. Stop it. And things like this, people support on the left, are the reason why the left are losing support all over this great nation. People are saying, you know what, y'all doing too much. I said this before. People that were kind of like center left, that weren't really, going all the way, one way or the other. Now they're coming all the way to the right, because it's pretty much where they've been left. This used to be the center. Now the center starts over here. The center is like in between this space over here, and the right is like all of this. So if you're right here, that used to be center left. Now it's just being a centrist, period. So, I mean, it is what it is. Hey, yes, it is gross, but hey, that's what I'm saying. This is what the left does. So stuff like that, I can't really condone. I can't say that, this lady has to have her, quote unquote, her male genitalia waxed by a female. How you gonna sue somebody? Like, that's called, you're talking about sexual harassment, sexual assault. You're suing a person to touch your twig and berries? Really? What if they win? Oh my goodness. Can you imagine the floodgates that will open? I mean, I don't even want to go down that road, but you pretty much can just use your imagination. Think about it. Think about if this person were to sue and win, to say that if you offer Brazilian waxes, you got to perform it on a so-called transgender woman that still has their male genitalia. What's going to be next? Oh, you know what? I don't even want to use imagination. I don't want to say no more. Like I said, we got little babies watching. I'm just saying that's happening right now. That is most certainly happening. So if you want to be a massage therapist, if you want to get involved with, grooming and stuff like that, you might run across Big Bertha, who was born Bernie, who wants his situation taken care of too. But I digress. I'm going to get to the calls. I don't want to go too far off the rails. Is there anything else I didn't cover yet? Hold on. Before I get to the calls, let me just see if there's anything else I wanted to cover. 1 second. Let me see. Oh, the racist pets. I'm going to talk about that right quick before we get to the calls. Ivanka Trump has a white dog that she gave her daughter. So I guess white dogs are now problematic. Not only is the dog white, that's a problem. It's also the fact that it's a breeder's dog. They said, people were saying on Twitter, you're talking about like verified people, reporters, media types, maybe even government types talking about, oh, well, you get a dog from a breeder, you bred it to be Aryan, an Aryan dog. You're talking about, they're saying a dog is the equivalent to a German Nazi soldier. A dog. Okay, man's best friend, cute little pooch, Fido, Fluffy, King, Skipper. Right? We're talking about fur color. These lefties are ridiculous. Fur color. That's what we're going to focus on. And not only did they say that dog was somehow problematic because it had white fur, and then it came from a breeder, they also said that in the upcoming movie Cats, which I'm pretty sure is like some CGI and costumes, that they're wrong for doing the movie the way they're doing it because a quote unquote black, could be biracial, but anyway, black actress has on a white fur costume. They said, oh, well, she's a black actress, but you can't tell because she has on white fur. I'm like, look, you're talking about a cat. Like, okay, if you want to shoot for realism and stuff like that, how about not have a human being play a cat? I mean, matter of fact, let's have just all random mutt cats just be in there and have a movie based on that. Give the cats lines, and if they can do the lines and give you the dramatic feel and stuff like that, then hey, we got a movie. But until then, you got to use some humans, maybe some CGI, and they might want to wear some fur that does not match their skin color. Skin and fur, like if I grew my hair, if my hair grew as fur, maybe it wouldn't be the same color as my skin. But you know what? these topics are ridiculous, but they're given credence because people that have high positions are actually taking them seriously. Blue check people, politicians, they're saying this is a real thing. And I recorded a video about Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris went to the NAACP meeting in Detroit today, and she said that Donald Trump interfering with the ASAP Rocky situation, trying to get him sent back home and trying to help him, that was an abuse of power. But it's not an abuse of power for Kamala Harris to say, let's free the illegal aliens, the non-citizens who are in the border detention camps. So freeing an American who was innocent, really, from what I saw, from a foreign jail or prison is abusing your power, or at least trying to free the person is abuse of power. But freeing criminal aliens, illegal aliens, non-citizens from border detention is somehow in your power. I don't understand. But then again, I do, because it's all about trying to get money. It's all about trying to get votes. Simple as that. But let's get to the calls. We got quite a few things to talk about tonight. The number to call is in the description box below. It's 434-658-1220. Again, the number to call is right there. There it is. 434-658-1220. It's also in the description box below. Oh, Ansel, I'm glad you asked. What? Kamala Harris said that it's an abuse of power for Donald Trump to try and help ASAP Rocky, an American citizen, unjustly in a Sweden jail, for him to come back home. But it's not an abuse of power for her to help criminal, illegal aliens in border facilities get released. Hey, I don't know how to make any sense, but that's your Democratic Party for you. And that's why a lot of us are leaving. It's ridiculous. It's enough. How is it wrong to help Americans, but it's okay to help non-Americans? I don't get it. It is what it is. Free ASAP. That's right. All right, let me get to the calls here. For real this time. All right, caller, you don't lie. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, it's the mixed troop, man. Mark Jennings out of Savannah, man. I just want to go ahead and call. Can you hear me?
Are you well?
Can you hear me?
I hear you well. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
We good?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. You know, I watched a whole Mueller report today while I was at work, and it was a big waste of time. You know, Mueller was doing nothing but, what's it called? Stalling, BSing, acting a fool. Every time a Republican would ask him a question, he said, take him 10 minutes to find the page that he need to look at. He can't find, when the Republican asked him a question, he asking, what paragraph are you reading from? It was ridiculous. And, you know, everybody at the job kept coming up to me, what's going on? What's going on? I kept telling them the same thing, a whole lot of nothing.
Right.
And, you know, I thought it was good when Jim Jordan got on there and roasted him. And it was funny how as soon as he got done roasting him, Nadler had to call a recess real quick because he knew Mueller had to go and regroup from that. And, you know, I just thought that, yeah, man, it's a big sham. It's obvious. I wanted to watch it, though, myself because I wanted to see the media reports afterwards. You know what I'm saying?
Right, of course.
What'd you think of the whole thing?
But
Go ahead.
Well, I was not able to see the whole thing, of course, because it was pretty long. Like, how long was it anyway? It started like 8:30 in the morning. When was it over?
About 3.5 hours of it. They had two, I think, like it was two parts to it. I watched the first 3.5 hours.
Okay, yeah, it was pretty long. So from what I saw what you saw, the same thing with the whole, I can't answer the question. Where are you reading it from? It seems like he had no idea what was in the report. Obviously, he didn't write it. He was just the guy that was in charge of the actual investigation. He had aides and stuff like that write it. But I'm thinking, okay, if you are in charge of writing or of the investigation, maybe you will read what was actually written from your investigation to see if everything checks out, because they can put in whatever they want in there and you don't even know what's in there. A thing that you're telling them may not actually be in the report. So it seemed like he was not really familiar with it. People that were in government, regular people, were familiar with it more than he was. Right. And then beyond that, I mean, it wasn't much that was said outside of what we already know. I figured that'd be the case because he said from the beginning that he would not go outside of the report. and he wouldn't really give you too much, and that's pretty much what he did. And I think that it's kind of a shame to have him out there because it's like
he showed clear bias, though. He, in my opinion, in answering the questions, he showed clear bias in whose questions he really wanted to answer. And, you know, he really fought against the Republicans. And I don't know if you saw when they asked him about conspiracy. I think it's conspiracy and collusion. If they were synonymous, or I don't know. You know, I'm black. I can't pronounce all them words. But, you know, and he was saying, no, they're not. And they was like, but it says it right there in your report. In my opinion, they shouldn't even have corrected him. They should have just got him and tried to get him on perjury or something, just like they would have done to any Republican that was doing testimony or something like that. But before I go, I do want to talk about them racist pets. And I saw that. I thought that was ridiculous. And I thought that that was a prime example of turning into what you hate, which is just being a bigot, you know? And all these people that keep talking about racism, this and that, they hate the color white so much. It's sad and it's disgusting. And I hope that this doesn't carry on for too much longer.
I'm right there with you, man. Right on.
Yeah, man. But hey, I appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right.
Sorry for the loud noise, but thank you to my man for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. All right, let me go ahead and fix that right quick so you guys don't get your ears blown out no more. RIP headphone users, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, that was a great call. I mean, now I did not see a whole lot of it, so I wasn't able to see the difference between how he was answering certain questions, but I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, that was the case, you know, showing a clear bias. Because what he should have done was to say that there was no collusion from the beginning and not have it be kind of just laid out there and maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But let me get to the next call. 412, you on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello?
Yes, 412. Who am I speaking to?
This is Tariq.
All right, what's going on?
Yeah, I want to talk about racist Smollett, that woman.
Are you talking about Erica Thomas?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, go for it.
All right, she was
Hey, caller, do me a favor. Speak up a little bit into the phone. It's kind of hard to hear you. Okay, I don't know what happened. His phone hung up. It was kind of hard to hear. It might have been just in a bad area. But shout out to the caller. I'll try to get you back on if you can. All right, let's try 228 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, who's this, ABL?
This is ABL.
Oh, listen, yeah, what I want to say is this. People who really get threatened by big-time crooks, they don't go around saying a word about it. They'll be silent, just like they were told to do, okay? And he looked like a man who was scared. I mean, I watched the whole thing, and did you look at his face? He looked like a man who had been threatened, and he's scared. I think he's afraid of getting on, he knows he's on Hillary's special needs list, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Okay, and I know people who have been threatened by gang members and stuff. Guess what? They don't say a word, just like they were told not to say a word, because when people like that threaten you, they ain't playing. They mean that shit. I mean, excuse me. You know, when you get threatened by a criminal, they're not playing. It's not two little kids in a schoolyard. When they tell you, shut up, don't say nothing, they're going to shut up and not say nothing. You go look in the hood and stuff. People can watch a murder and they're told, don't you say a word. Guess what? They don't say a word. And that's what I got the impression. He was threatened and he's scared. And he said what was written in he did not stray from his report one little bit. I mean, did you notice that? Well, he didn't add anything.
Yeah, I mean, I did not see the entire thing, but that's pretty much what I'm hearing.
Yeah, he didn't stray. He didn't add anything. And he gave most of his answers were yes and no, and yes, I agree, or no, I didn't. Those are the answers of somebody who's been threatened. I know. I've seen it. I've seen people get threatened, and I know how they act, and I know you know too. Somebody in a bad neighborhood can witness a crime, and the police come, and they know everybody around there saw what happened, and they ask everybody, "No, I didn't see nothing. I don't know who did it." Now, and that's the impression I got just from looking at them and from my own day-to-day experiences with people. I know the look, and that's the look the man had. That's all I got to say, and I'll see y'all later.
All right, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, great call. That make a lot of sense to me. And now that I'm thinking about it, he kind of had that look in his eye where it's like, man, hopefully I don't say the wrong thing and get myself clipped here. All right, but let me get to my next one here. All right, let's go for 336 on the line. Who am I speaking to? All right, what's going on?
What's happening, ABL?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
All right. I'm a huge fan.
Oh, thank you. But turn speakers down in the background for me, please.
Say again?
Turn speakers down in the background for me, please. I'll get a little bit of feedback in my headphones. I hear the stream in the back.
Yeah. I'm watching you right now.
Okay.
I got you.
Okay. All righty. So what's going on? What's on your mind?
Did you happen to see the Mueller report thing today? Testimony?
I couldn't watch all of it. I saw some here and there. So, I didn't have enough time to really sit and watch it. It was way too long.
Well, there's a reason why they call Jim Jordan the Lion, because he just pretty much slammed Robert Mueller on his face.
I did see that highlight from it. That was fantastic.
It was fantastic.
Absolutely.
But anyway, I just want to say I'm a big fan, man, and keep doing what you're doing.
Well, I thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, now. All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. The number to call is 434-658-1220. If you want to get in through Skype, there's the email for that in the description box below. I'll put you right in the lower left-hand corner. All righty, Leah, what's happening?
Hello?
Leah, can you hear me?
Oh. Yep, I can hear you. I have you on my stream. Sorry. Okay. There we go. Sorry. I don't know how my stream must have been severely behind or something. ABL, you still there?
I'm right here.
Okay, so let me make sure. So, hello, ABL. So, I am here for you. So, I'm here to talk to you today. So, the first thing I want to say is, unlike probably everybody else, I did not have time to watch the Mueller report because I find that in my new job, well, I guess I'll just say my new job. Do you know what it is, ABL? I have a feeling you know.
I think that I know, but you got to tell me specifically so I don't get it wrong.
So I am a news director at a Fox News affiliate talk show, talk radio.
Ah, there we go.
So you have the talk radio station. It's a Fox News affiliate. So like Hannity's on there, and they have the Fox News that plays on Fox News affiliates on there, and then I do all of the regional and the local news. Ah,
very good.
So yeah, if you recognize my voice, then obviously you now know where I am because I'm on 8 radio stations actually.
Wow, very good.
Yes. So what I wanted to come on here and talk to you about today is this crazy idea. So as I think everybody knows, I live in Iowa now. And as you know, Iowa is the hotbed of politics. And I heard a very interesting / disturbing argument on Thursday. Do you know who Steve Bullock is?
Yes.
So he came to my town that I live in, and I was there because I had to because it was my job. And he wants to get rid of the filibuster rule. And his reasoning for the filibuster rule, which I thought was just complete and utter, I can't say what I think because I'm very good at censoring myself. But, he was arguing that the filibuster rule makes it to where Congress people can't be brave, ABL. That's what he said. Because Congress people would be more brave if the filibuster rule wasn't in place.
Oh, really?
So, now for everyone that, I'm sure that a lot of the people on the stream know what the filibuster rule is, but can I just kind of go over it a little bit and then posit what my argument is of why he's like the exact opposite of his stance is the exact opposite of true.
You said what now?
So I'm going to just briefly summarize what it is and then kind of explain why it's the exact opposite of true.
I got you.
So essentially, in the Senate, in the House of Representatives, you have to have a simple majority. So I think it's, what is it? Like 216, 217, something like that is the number of votes that you need in the House. But in the Senate, you need, for anything that increases the debt, and there are several other things, then you need a majority of 60% or more. So you have to have 60 senators to be able to vote for your bill. Now, this historically comes from the fact that when the Senate was started, you actually had to have 100% approval from the Senate. And over time, they decreased it until they got to 60, and they said, we're going to stick it at 60, except for, the Democrats in 2008 weren't happy with the 60 because they had 60 for like the first 2 years. For the first 2 years, they had 60, and then they dropped below the 60, and then instead of working with the Republicans, they changed the rules.
Ah, okay.
And now Bullock wants to come in and do this again, where instead of having the 60, because the thing is that it's very hard. When you think about the makeup of the country, you have certain states that always have 2 blue senators. You have certain states that always have 2 red senators. So it's really, really hard to get, it's very difficult to get 60. And that makes it to where there has to be some type of bipartisan compromise. Because even though I'm Republican, I'm conservative, I feel a lot of people on the stream are Republican and conservative, I don't just think the Republican Party should do whatever they want. That's how we get stupid bills. And flip side, that's how, we get gendered speech and all this crazy stuff.
Wait, you said gendered speech?
Well, I guess, the whole, in Canada, where you misgender someone, you get thrown in jail.
Right.
But, that's how that happens, is whenever you need a small number of people to approve something, to say, yeah, that's okay, that's how that happens.
Okay.
But whenever you have 60, that means, because like I said, it's very difficult to get 60 Republicans or 60 Democrats in the Senate. That means that you have to have both sides get together and agree. And, and as we know, that doesn't happen very often, and that protects the American people.
Right.
But Bullock was trying to say, oh, look, this is going to make people be brave and come over. I'm like, no, because if you are the majority in the Senate, then you don't need people to come over to your side. And in the inverse, if the other party is majority in the Senate, then they just need to tell their party that you have to vote with us. Because the person in the majority, whoever the majority leader is, the party that's in power decides what gets voted on and what goes to the floor.
I got you.
It's not the individual senators. It's the leadership decides what goes on the floor, the leadership of the party in power. So without that, there is no compromise in the Senate. The House, the rules are a little bit different, and there is changing dynamics as far as the districts in the House change, and that changes who gets elected and all those things. But
got you.
Last time I checked, we don't exactly redraw state lines every 10 years.
Right, I'm with you. Well, I thank you for the call. I got a lot of calls on the line, so I'm going to go ahead and get to a few more.
All right. Bye, ABL.
All right, now, take care.
Take care.
All right, thank you to Leia for the call. Most certainly appreciate her. And shout out to everybody calling in. The number to call is 434-658-1220. I got super chats right quick before we get to the next call. Thank you to Holden Caulfield, who says Bob Sergeant Schultz Mueller. Thank you for that. Thank you to Jay Evans, who says poor polar bears, LMAO, talking about the white fur. Oh yeah, polar bears, they're racist. White dogs are racist. Doves are racist. Shout out to Duchess Nancy Ann for your donations. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to the white community who says Cubans now accepted. Join today. Hilarious. You're talking about that guy in Publix. Thank you for the donation. Shout out to Reggie Washington, who says, so 2020 Trump wins. If Republicans win House and Senate, what do you think will happen? That's a very good question. I'm thinking wall get pushed through. Definitely. Wall funding. That's the main thing. Obamacare is going to definitely get addressed more than what it has been. Trump did the first hurdle, which was eliminating the individual mandate. That was really big. I know people that don't even vote Republican that were happy about that. So I think the main two things would be healthcare and also the wall, for sure. But thank you for the donation. Thank you to Billy Marks, who says, Billy Marks, that's funny, who says, like all good. Oh, never mind. I already read that one. So shout out to everybody calling. I'll get to everybody as soon as I can, but let me get to my next call. All right, call you on the line, 617. Who am I speaking to? 617. 617. Going once, going twice. Hey, you got to be ready. You can't be in the background cooking empanadas and stuff like that. I know what that was too. You can't be in the background boiling rice and stuff, man. We don't got all night. So if you're going to be calling in, make sure you have your ear by the phone calling like this, because if you're watching the stream trying to chime in, it's going to be a delay in the stream. So make sure you have your ear by the phone when you're calling in. But let me get to my next call. 619, you're in the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, Anthony. This is Sharon in San Diego, California. Again, how are you doing this evening?
Everything is great. How about yourself?
I'm fine. It's interesting. I looked at part of the hearing today, and there were, I'll put it to you this way. Optics are very, very important when you're presenting an image. And Mueller came over today, to me, looking old and fragile. Not saying anything against older people because I'm a boomer myself, but he did. He came over looking kind of old and frazzled and maybe not sure, but he's an ex-Marine, so him being afraid, I don't necessarily buy that. That kind of insulted the Marines, Semper Fi. But as I said before, he came over kind of like he maybe wasn't sure. He didn't know what to say. He was fumbling, looking through his report. Most people, when you come to an organization to do a presentation, you will post it, your notebook with different colors, so you can automatically go in and pick the information that you need right away. And I think this is one of those things that contributed to him looking like perhaps he shouldn't be there. So my next question is, and I'm observing, so my question now is, who wrote the report? Because it looked as though he wasn't familiar with too much of anything. So if he didn't write the report, that means the people around him had to be giving him information. So they dig later and they start finding out that most of the people in his posse don't like Donald Trump. They're very, very biased. So now my next question is, since I'm sure he had to know their political leanings, so what happened to these people being recused from being in the position of offering up information or offering up judgment? So it's going to be very interesting as to how the Democrats are going to turn this around, because he did give a very weak kind of pansy-wansy, I'm not sure. And question again, who wrote the report? Matter of fact, Dershowitz was on maybe an hour later talking about he didn't write the report. So now we're going, okay, if he didn't write the report, now this opens up another door. But it still keeps the door open to these people didn't like Donald Trump. They wanted to get Donald Trump. If he knew this, but you have to prove that he didn't, they should have recused themselves. But they didn't. They just kept pushing on and moving on. But again, this is where the American public needs to start asking questions. Now we have more unanswered questions than we have answered. So now that means that are we going to open up another door for another year to try to figure out who knew what, who wrote what paragraph, who did what research, how much time they spent, did they get any money, blah, 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 blah. But the bottom line is this. The Democrats look bad, very bad, because they're looking like they're grabbing for straws here and straws there. And I'm still a firm believer in Michelle Obama is in the wings. This is Sharon that said it once before. Her chances even look like they're going up a little bit higher now, a little higher, because things are turning for the Democrats, and they've got to have something that's going to bring people back. And it's got to be something strong, and it's got to be a knockout punch. And hey, here we go. So just as I said before, I felt for Mueller because he looked his, how can I say? He looked his age, but then again, I'm an old person too. I'm in my 70s too. But it's almost like he was used. He was used. The Democrats used him. Yes, they did. And I think maybe he might be thinking that, and maybe all along he's been thinking it. But I'll say this last thing, and I want us to think about it again. How many times did they change his dates for coming up to testify? So was that because they didn't think he was ready to be camera presentable, and he wouldn't look strong? He looked weak. He would look disoriented. Is that why they kept pushing it back so many times? But maybe they ran out of this last time of pushing it back, and they had to put up or shut up. But from what I could see, he didn't answer any questions. He didn't. He just, I'm not privy to that. I don't know. And the fumbling and the looking and that kind of faraway look, kind of dazed in his eyes, like, what the hell am I doing here? Was kind of present. And as I said before, his optics did not help him. If he had to come out looking strong, sounding strong, throwing that book open, going through those pages and hitting that page and coming back with a response very quick, would this be a different conversation tonight? I think it would be. But anyway, I love your show.
We love your show.
We love your show in San Diego. You're so smart. You're good at what you do. Keep up the good work, because we need this, because this is just unreal. It's unreal to me. And like I said, I'm a boomer. So this is different, but this is part of what America is about. This is what makes us unique, and the sooner we realize this, I'll put it to you this way. How many Americans want to switch over to socialism? Really? How many want to do that?
Not many.
Not many. They're driving the cars they like. They're going out and buying those knockoff imitation bags. They're running to the mall. They're coming out the store with their little designer bag. Doesn't matter what's in the bag. They got the bag, right? So how many Americans want to switch this? I don't want to switch. I enjoy what I'm doing. I love my life. I don't want to go back and switch it. And besides, too many people have died for us to be able to enjoy what we're enjoying.
That's right.
Many.
That's right. Absolutely.
Okay. Yes, absolutely. So as I said, we love you here in San Diego. Thank you so much for being so patient with me. I appreciate it. And remember what I said. It's all about the optics. All about the optics. So let's see how the Democrats are going to work this with their optics.
Thank you for the call. Great one. Definitely appreciate it.
All right, Anthony. Bye. You have a nice evening, honey. Bye-bye.
I know. All right, great call. She's right on it. Absolutely. Yeah, he did look. When she said he did look old and frail. It's people that are his age that don't look that bad. I mean, Trump is 73, if I'm not mistaken. That's only 1 year younger than Bob Mueller, but one person looks like they're energetic and lively, and the other does not. And the thing about it was Bob Mueller was retired. See, he was just chilling, minding his own business. Now he's got to be back out there in the limelight, in front of cameras, and having meetings and getting up at the crack of dawn, all kind of stuff. Why? Because the Democrats want to engage in the witch hunt. They're trying to get Trump on some kind of pseudo impeachment type of thing, so they can remove him from office. It's absurd. So a lot of this is not even his fault as far as how he looks. Now, as far as what he did in the report, it's different. But as far as him being out there just looking like a man about to fall apart, I mean, I don't think he really wanted to be out there. But hey, the report was written by somebody, maybe your aides or whoever, but it is what it is. Shout out to the dude in the chat, Mike Bunch. I saw your comment, man. I want to comment on it right quick. Mike Bunch says Trump was charged and convicted of racial discrimination in the 80s and wanted to execute young black men in New York. What about calling white supremacists fine people? That's a lot there. I didn't even see all that until I read it. Now, first, he didn't get charged or convicted of anything at all. If he got convicted, where's the jail time? Where's the probation? Where's the parole? Where's the suspended sentence? There was a racial discrimination lawsuit, but you don't get convicted in a lawsuit. You get found liable for it, or you plea, or like not plea. Pardon me. You settle. It's not pleading because that's about criminal. You settle for a certain amount of money if you want to go through the court process, and then you get found to owe a certain amount of money that you're liable for this payment. he settled a lawsuit because of what a property manager did at one of his properties. But it wasn't him. But because he owned the property, he was the one that had to settle the lawsuit. It wasn't him in the property talking about, oh, you can't be here, you can't do this, and you can't do that. And just because a lawsuit is settled does not mean you're guilty of it. Nick Cannon came out and said that one of his nannies sued him because, like, this is a real story. You can look it up on the internet. I think he said it on Wendy Williams or Vlad TV somewhere. One of his nannies sued him and Mariah Carey because one of their babies headbutted the nanny. A baby headbutted, and then the nanny said, well, I have severe headaches and trauma from a baby headbutting the nanny. They settled out of court. That don't mean that the baby hurt a grown person by headbutting them. I mean, so that's one thing. And then you said he wanted to execute young black men in New York. You talking about those that got found guilty, those who were locked up for the Central Park 5 situation. All he said was death penalty might be on the table. They got convicted. They were in jail. So how was that wrong to say what the punishment should be for a heinous crime like rape and beating people up and engaging in righteous behavior? And again, they had been convicted of that when that happened. And then white supremacists find people. That whole thing is bogus because you're talking about Charlottesville. He said there were good people on both sides. The whole thing was about the statue of Robert E. Lee. You had regular people that were not in any kind of extremist group, that were on the left and the right, that were just regular everyday people that went to the college that was right there, UVA, people that lived in Charlottesville, regular everyday people. And then you also had others that came in from out of town, the white supremacists, the Nazis, the KKK, also on the other side of the left-right spectrum, whatever you want to say, Black Lives Matter, Antifa, whatever. And the reality is I think that all these extremist groups are all on the left. That's what I think, but that's a whole different story. That's what he was talking about. So you were wrong on that. But let me get to some more calls here. Okay. 702, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Robert in Vegas. How you doing?
Everything's great, man. How about yourself?
Oh, great. Hey, you know that Robert E. Lee statue you were talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, I heard Robert E. Lee didn't even own any slaves.
I'm not sure if he did. He probably didn't. If he did, I mean, he wasn't like a prolific guy like, George Washington or Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah, I don't really think he owned any. But, I'm not positive on that one. But, hey, how about Bernie Sanders not paying his people $15 an hour?
Yeah, that was hilarious to me, but that's how it goes. And then the funniest part was when they said, okay, well, cut your hours so you guaranteed to get the $15. I'm like, okay, that's how it always happens. When you raise minimum wages, employers, they can't afford it. So what do? They cut the biggest expense, which is the payroll. They're going to cut your hours. That's what Bernie Sanders did. That's how it's going to work in the real world.
Yeah, and then he was gonna give them a pay raise, but cut their benefits. So their benefits, they'd have to pay more than the pay raise they got. I was like, well, yeah, that sounds about right. I've worked for companies that have done that kind of stuff.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, but I was wondering about the employees there. They're talking about how they can't eat and this, and I'm wondering, where's this campaign out of? That's the one thing that I hadn't heard. Where did they run the campaign out of? What state or what city?
I don't know, but I'm willing to guess probably D.C. And yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, it's got to be expensive there. But they're working 60 hours a week, so that I'm guessing that they're probably eating out most of those days, and I'm guessing that's probably why they're having trouble making ends meet. I mean, I got to take a lunch to work.
Right.
I can't afford to eat out every day.
Right.
Yeah, that comes down to, it's not how much you make, it's how you spend it.
That's correct.
Because we waste a lot of money. Like when I was growing up, you had a telephone in the house. That was it.
Right. No cell phone, none of that stuff going on.
Yep. And how much do you pay for a cell phone? A bill a month?
Yeah, a bill. Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Now, what about internet?
Yeah, that's a bill.
Man,
then you got subscription services. You got Uber, Lyft, and all kind of stuff. And then Does the cost of living has gone up? Or are you renting where you live? Like, how do you get around? Do you have a car?
Right. So on $3.25 an hour minimum wage, when I was growing up, you could buy a house.
Wow. Wow. That's pretty. Yeah, that's impossible nowadays.
Yeah, but that's it's the area you live in.
Mm.
You know, so if I was making, you know, if you're living in an area where the cost of living is extremely low, but they raise the rate to $15 an hour, you know, you're living like a king.
Right.
Well, until they get rid of your job because they can't afford to pay you.
Exactly. Right.
Yep. And that's all I'm going to bug you with tonight. Hey, you have a great evening.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
That's amazing. 325, you can buy a house on that. I mean, there's certain places right now you're able to. Nah, you can't do that nowhere. I mean, you can get a abandoned house for, you know, a small amount of money, minimum wage. If you saved up, you can get an abandoned house. But could you live in it? I don't know about that one. That's going to be kind of difficult for you to, you know, go down that direction. All right. But yeah, quite a few calls in the queue. I'm going to try to get to everybody as soon as I can. Y'all hang tight. Let's go to 210. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, it's Brandon from San Antonio.
All righty. What's going on?
Nothing. I just wanted to touch up on that, the racist dogs.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going to try to be satirical about this. But so when I was living in Germany, we had we bought a Rottweiler, German Rot, you know, from a breeder, and the dog had all its papers in German, and we named her Maggie, but I used to call her Nazi Maggie because she was German. So, yeah, I always thought that was really funny. And the last time I checked, that Rottweilers are not white. They're black and brown.
That's right.
Yeah, so I just thought that was funny. And I'm going to reference the racist dogs over to the testimony today. Did you get to see the 5-minute interrogation by Gomert?
Now I heard about that one, but I did not see that one.
Okay, well, after his little spiel to Mueller, he had those racist dogs on the left with their tails between their legs.
Hilarious.
So, yeah, so and that's all I got. I always try to keep it short and sweet, wrap it up with a nice bow on top.
There we go. I love it, man. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Yeah, take it easy.
All right, now. All right, great call. Shout out to all the callers. You guys have been great so far tonight. The number to call is 434. There it is, 658-1220. It's always right there in the ticker. After a certain point in time, I'll just rotate around. And if you don't see the number right there when you need it, it's always in the description box right at the very top. Just click on the show more right there, and it'll just be right in front of your face. And if you want this hat or the flags on the wall, there's links in the description box below for that. Right up under the video should be a carousel of items. You can get whatever you need right there. I got Keep America Great hats, We the People hats, the flag, 1776 flag. I got T-shirts with We the People, the 1776 Starfield. I have that same thing right there on the flag on the shirt. You know, and I designed everything myself, so this is all my doing. But let me get to the next call, and thank you all for calling yet again. Mike from Queens, what's happening?
Hey, what's up, Anthony? How you doing?
Everything's great, man. Can't complain.
Yeah, man. It's a great day today.
Oh, absolutely.
The Republicans really crushed Mueller.
Yeah, I saw some of the highlights from it. I didn't see the full thing when it was live, but I saw some of the highlights, and it was wow. Jim Jordan did great. What's a man named Devin Nunes did great. It was a lot of good questioning there.
Yeah, even Ratcliffe had an impressive line of questioning. I watched the morning. I was off today. I watched the judicial, the hearing in front of the judicial committee, and Ratcliffe was good too, but he actually also was asking questions too on the while he was on the intelligence committee, because I guess he serves on a couple of those committees there. But and Mueller, he probably already stated. I mean, I just tuned in now. It looks like he had dementia.
Yeah, he looked really bad. I was watching just some of the highlights and just some of it a little bit live when I was able to get a peek at it. And I'm thinking, okay, is that Bob Mueller or Joe Biden? I can't really tell. They both got kind of that same spacey, not really there, just kind of looking old and fragile.
Yeah, I mean, there's a meme that you know how quick people on the right are to create the memes.
Yes.
There's a meme where Schiff is asking him what page is it on, and it's like he's like, what page did you say? Or, well, what's your name? And he's like, what? He asks him his name, and he's like, what page is that? Yeah, I mean, he was like a bumbling fool. I mean, how many times? All right, there's 450 pages in the report, and so many people have touched on this. Mark Levin touched on it early on his radio show. I think even Cernovich said it. Jack Posobiec. That it doesn't even seem like Mueller wrote the report himself.
Oh, no, he didn't. It's clear that he didn't because
he didn't.
Now, I mean, if you can barely just answer basic questions in the hearing and you stumbling and bumbling, how are you going to write this multi-million-page report? Obviously, he had some aides and whatnot that were there with him writing it. He was just a point man to have the investigation happen, but he didn't write it, and he barely read it from what I can see because they're asking him about certain things that were in it, and he's like, "Oh, I don't know. Where's it at?" I mean, it's pretty clear that he didn't write it.
Yeah, and if you notice too, this was a rare moment since Trump's presidency. You actually had CNN and MSNBC agreeing that this was just bad optics for the Democrats, and they didn't score the haymaker or the knockout punch like they were looking for. I was actually shocked. Chuck Todd, of all people, said this is, he's going to send a tweet, bad optics. Michael Moore was hysterical. He went off the rails. He had a detailed tweet about Mueller not being, coherent and stuttering, and you guys, you put your trust in Mueller, and this is what you got.
Exactly.
Oh man, it was just great watching the show, and it's like I don't understand, Nadler and Schiff's thinking behind this. I mean, what, you didn't think these Republicans, people like Jim Jordan, anytime you see them in these hearings with the Oversight Committee or the Judiciary, he's sharp. Mark Meadows is sharp. Devin Nunes is sharp. Even some of these younger Republicans that have just won seats maybe in the last last couple elections, some of these younger lawyers, they're smart. These guys are, they're right on the ball with this. So if you thought these guys were going to come in prepared, you had another thing coming.
Oh yeah, I don't know why they would think that they wouldn't be prepared at all, because they most certainly were. I mean, if you've seen any other congressional hearings where they were able to ask questions, it's clear what they do. These people just were not really prepared. Bob Mueller didn't seem like he was prepared. It was terrible. And like you said, when even CNN and MSNBC 13, they can see what's going on, they can agree on it, then it was bad.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I don't know if it was Michael Savage or Mark Levin, because I was listening to both of them today. I think Savage made the comment about Nadler that he's the type of he was the type of lawyer, like he called him a ticket fixer from Brooklyn. He would have an office and he would have like a dirty old office on Flatbush Avenue in Brooklyn somewhere, and that's where he used to work out of a ticket and. Just to describe him as a lawyer, and I was, that's like basically to the point on him.
Exactly.
Can't get any, you couldn't describe him the best with that. So.
Not at all.
All right, listen, thanks for taking my call, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Got it. Good night.
All right. Thank you to Mike from Queens for the call. The ticket fixer from Brooklyn is hilarious. 1,000%. Wow. That's wild. But shout out to everybody calling. Thank you all for being here. You could be anywhere in the USA, but right here with me. I really appreciate that. The number to call is 434-658-1220. All right, 914 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's up, bro?
What's going on? Who am I
How's it
speaking
going,
to?
Ant?
Everything's good.
Hey, I wanted to talk about, man, what's going on in the world right now with all the racism towards the black people, man. I feel real down and out about it. I wanted to hear your concerns on it.
Like, what do you mean, though, specifically?
Like, I don't know, man. It's like with everything going on with the cops, you know, every time I walk around, I just feel like they out to get me, you know?
So, I mean, why do you feel like that, though?
I mean, I've been in a lot of trouble with the police, you know. Some of it was my doing, some of it wasn't. But it's like, once you in their radar, you just in it, man. And it's like, I done seen a whole bunch of other races doing the same shit, and they just get off.
Hold on, you can't cuss. You can't cuss on
I'm sorry about that, bro. I'm sorry about that, man. But I just see a whole bunch of other races doing the same thing, and they just get off so easy, man. Like I remember I went to jail for a robbery. They gave me 10 years, and they gave somebody else that was in there for the same thing. He was a white male, about a year and a half with probation.
Okay, but now when you got locked up for the robbery, did you have any prior convictions?
Nah, man, I was 17 at the time. I had no prior convictions, nothing, man.
Okay, now was a robbery under the same circumstances?
Mine's actually was a lesser count. He had an armed robbery and he had prior convictions.
Okay, so what was yours?
Mine was robbery, but I didn't use a firearm. I just took a cell phone. I was young at the time. And he actually ran into somebody's house and did an armed robbery, a burglary.
So you say you took a phone. Like, how did you take it? Did you strong arm?
It was. I mean, I just like it. It was on the table. We was at a mall. I grabbed it, and I just ran off with it. I mean, I didn't even touch the person, but they seen me. Okay, now did you have a lawyer? No, I actually had a court-appointed lawyer.
How about the other guy?
He had a paid lawyer.
Okay, there you go.
I'm saying though, man, it sucks, but I do.
Did you cop a plea?
I didn't actually. I took it to trial.
Oh, you took it to trial. Did the guy plea down? The other guy?
He also took it to trial.
Okay, but he had a paid lawyer, so you gambled and lost. He gambled and he won because he had a paid lawyer.
Yeah, man, and they I definitely did. They took 10 years from me, man. But you know.
So I mean, that seems like a matter of that person just having a lawyer that had their best interest at heart. A lot of these court-appointed PDs, they're not really that good. So I think that might have been the difference. If what you're telling me is correct, I ain't going to say you're a liar or nothing like that, but just based on what you said,
no, right,
it seems like the paid lawyer made the difference.
Definitely, you do got a point there, man. But so I just heard about your channel and stuff, bro. So like you be doing live a lot, like people do call-ins a lot and stuff like that.
Yeah, every Wednesday and Saturday I do live call-ins.
Oh man, that's what's up, bro. So where you from?
Well, I was raised in Virginia Beach. I'm out here in Tennessee now.
You play video games?
Yeah.
You got Xbox?
Nah, I'm on PS4 and PC.
PS4. You gotta get Xbox, man.
I can't do nothing with it, man. I got a PC. It's the same thing.
Hey, bro, how many viewers you got right now?
It's quite a few in there.
Hey, man, but hey, I ain't even gonna hold you up. Hey, yo, thanks for letting me get on here, bro. Have a good one.
All right, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate it.
All right, no problem, bro. Have a good one.
Okay, that was an interesting call. Hey, man, a lesson to everybody out there: if you get in trouble, get a lawyer. Shout out to all the lawyers out there that get people out of the penitentiary or just to make sure that the situation is good. All right. 240, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Gonna hold you up.
AB, what's up, brother?
Everything's good, man. What's happening?
Everything's everything, brother, man. That's crazy, man. I got a white dog. I'm racist. I have a white dog. Yes, and I'm a black guy, and I'm racist. Yeah. This is out of hand. We got a Cisco lookalike going around telling everybody she got violated. She's like 10 times bigger than that dude. You see that?
She was looking more like Dennis Rodman on the Bulls.
Yeah, I go with Cisco. Yeah. Don't. But yeah, ABL, man. But things in crazy news. And the whole Mueller report was an epic fail. It was a fail. Like it was just like I'm looking at everybody like, really? This is all they came up with? And everybody on Facebook talking about we'll see when they convict them. And I'm looking at everybody, ain't nobody saying nothing now. I said, where's the conviction coming at everybody on Facebook? Shut up, Javier, shut up. What the hell, Javier? I'm just saying. I mean, this is y'all 1-2 punch, y'all winning point here, bringing Mueller in. And if anything, they gave him praise. Anything else, Mr. Mueller, you was a Marine, right? Weren't you a Marine, sir? Yes, he was. I was, sir. Bronze Star Award. Okay, who cares? What do you have on the president? And they say, we're not going to deny you had 200-something convictions. Yeah, that went nowhere. There were slaps on the wrist. So what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, like the one guy, like, I was Papadopoulos got like 6 days in jail or in prison. It's like, man, come on, man, 6 days. Like, that's, you're going to just, carry that around like it's some kind of big victory. That's nothing.
Exactly, and then the thing about it, they're walking around, they actually did something. And this is the thing, so man, CNN's like, it was a victory for them. No, it wasn't. You look stupid. You wasted all tax dollars. You wasted like an hour of my life that I couldn't get back. Well, about 30 minutes of it because I couldn't watch too much. It was just sickening to watch. And I think people don't understand. This is why I say the Democratic Party is imploding on themselves. And then I got put in Facebook jail, ABL, all because I said. Next, because I said I'm sick of this old KC thing. People need to just shut up and get over it. They're not going nowhere. I mean, what's the point?
Hold on. What happened? What happened? You said who not going anywhere?
I was saying, what's the name? Old KC ain't going nowhere. They're not going anywhere. They're in Congress. They're not going anywhere.
Oh.
Who cares? And when he racially said and I said he didn't call him out. And I said it's the dumbest thing I've heard in my life. Let's get over them and stop when you see these dumb twats. That's what got me in trouble.
Oh, okay.
They put me in Facebook jail because of that, and yeah, my page got suspended, demonetized.
You know what? I've not been in Facebook jail yet. I never had that happen. I don't know what's going on. Huh?
Yeah, I've been in Facebook jail so many times. It's just sickening. I'm just like and then I had this one dude tell me, Javier, you're out there in Southern Maryland hanging with them racist. Well, can I say crackers? Okay, well, I already said it now, so well. Anyway, you're the racist crackers. They're gonna sit by and hang you, and I'm gonna sit back and laugh. So I said, you wishing death upon me?
Yeah, I get that. I get that a lot. It's like, okay, you're supposed to be all this pro-black, all this, that, and the third, but yet, you're accusing me of being racist and hanging with racist people, and by using that kind of language against me. I don't understand.
Yes, I don't understand. I said, but you're calling me a coon, and I don't like myself, but you're wishing death upon another black man. I said, yeah, you are so pro-black, brother. You are power to the people, brother. You are so Malcolm X's. And if anything, Malcolm X was a Republican. If anything, so was Martin Luther King. Truth be told, we ain't gonna talk about that now, are we?
Guess not.
Did you? I was reading an article. So my brother sent me an article about how they say that Jesse Jackson. They said Jesse Jackson set up Martin Luther King moved his room from downstairs to upstairs. You heard about? You hear about that?
No, I've not heard about that.
What they're saying is that okay, Martin Luther King did not want to sit in the upper floor. He wants in the bottom.
You talking about at the hotel where he got killed?
Yeah. You heard about that?
Nah, I haven't heard about that. I knew he was up there in that particular part of the hotel, but I didn't know that was Messy Jesse that made that happen.
Yeah, Jesse moved him, and they said, and quote unquote, it was a whatchamacallit, a cop where it was. I forgot where it happened. I can't remember more details. But a cop that happened. A cop with a sniper, and he shot him. And they said that he survived the gunshots, and they took him to the hospital. Everybody was spitting in his face and punching him and everything. And they said Jesse Jackson took a payout to set him up, which I can kind of believe. It makes sense now you think about it, because if I want to be downstairs, you pull me upstairs, something ain't right there. And my spices have been going off. If that was me, I don't know about you. My spices has been going off. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it would have, but maybe he trusted him, so it might not have gone off at that particular point in time because he was like, okay, we good and everything's fine. I trust him, but maybe his part of sense should have went off and be like, well, no, I don't want to go nowhere. I think I'm good right here. So
exactly, but it's still kind of sad though. But anyways, I'm not holding you time, my brother, man. But Awesome show, brother, man. And have no fear. The haters are coming, brother. Just so you know, the haters are coming. You ignore them, okay, brother? Because don't even face a jail like me, man. It's not fun. You can't post nothing. You got to sit around and watch other people look at stuff. All right, brother, man. Keep it safe, brother, man. And we're in 2020. We got it.
There it is, man. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, brother. Peace.
Peace. All right. Shout out to my man JB for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Let me get to the next call here. 914, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, how's it going, bro?
Everything's good, man. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, bro. I needed some advice, man.
What's up?
So me and my girlfriend, we haven't been on good terms, man. It's just, I don't know what it could be. I come in the house, man, and she just don't want to do nothing with me. She's saying I stink.
Hold on. Caller. Look. You calling a political show. So we talking about your girlfriend and stinking, like, come on.
I'm just saying, man, I'm fighting a rape charge right now. I need help.
You're fighting a rape charge? Look, man, I can't do nothing for you, so you're going to have to... See, you were already muted, so couldn't nobody even hear you. That was a weak troll call right there. I knew from the beginning that this person was going to be a troll. That's why I had my finger on the mute button. So, hey, man, shout out to OBS for having these good controls right here. The mute button is right in front of me, so didn't nobody even hear none of that stuff you was talking about. But let me go ahead and just block. All right. Let me see. There we go. Sayonara. But let me get to the next call. All right, caller, you know, line 617.
Hey, what's going on, ABL?
Hey, everything's all right. What's happening?
Apparently, I'm your worst nightmare. Well, I got to give to that lady, the girl that she called, that she's a conservative. She knew she's the only one that so far that I hear that she's educated about politics. You know, she knew about Senate rules. So, but the rest, unfortunately, not. Going back to the Mueller report, obviously it was obstruction, as you know. It's up to the Congress to
hold on. Wait. I don't know that because he didn't say anything about there being obstruction.
It's in the page. It's in the first page.
No. But like that was not said. He didn't say anything about obstruction. How? Who was obstructed?
No, it was obstruction.
Who? But hold on. Wait. The question was who was obstructed?
Oh, it was Trump obstructed the investigation. Remember when? Let me get this guy name.
Hold on. When Bob Mueller was asked during the actual testimony today, was your investigation curtailed, stopped, or hindered at any point? He says no. That's what he said.
No. His investigation was not stopped. His investigation. But Don McCain, you know what Don McCain is?
No, who was that?
On January, okay, let me write. On Saturday, June 2007, President Donald Trump called Don McCain twice at home. The president ordered the White House counsel to fire Robert Mueller. At this point, I've been leading the Russia probe for 1 month. So that means he wanted to fire him. And he's the one who said that. Remember that he kind of, in the Mueller report, says that he said Trump tell him to do some crazy, he was swearing. Remember that? Do you read the report? That's my question.
You said what now?
You didn't read it, of course. Well,
so you saying that somebody else's investigation?
I'm not saying that.
Sir, I'm gonna finish my question. You're muted. Like when I talk, you can't talk. So my question was, you're saying that somebody else's report was interrupted by Trump, but not the Bob Mueller report?
That I'm on now because I have to respond so people can hear me.
Go ahead.
Okay, the Mueller report itself says that.
No, the question it's a yes or no question. Sir, again, I'm gonna mute you and then I'm gonna talk. You gotta answer these questions. Like, look, don't give me no soliloquy and all this and that, all your feelings and your. The question is simple. So you're saying that the Mueller report was not obstructed, but a different report was, correct?
I didn't say that.
So was Mueller? So okay. So you're not saying that. So the question is again, when I talk, you can't because. When I start talking, all I'm going to do is mute you. So what report was obstructed? Was it the Mueller report?
No report was obstructed. I'm not talking about report.
So what are you talking about
I'm not talking about report.
So what are you talking about then?
Report?
Hold on, sir. You said that no report was obstructed just now. So what are you talking about? So what are you talking about?
I'm not talking about report. Let me read it to you one more time.
No. Don't read that into. Don't look, sir. I don't got no time for this for real, man. Like my patience is really running thin. I don't got no time for this. Just answer my questions and don't give me none of that other stuff, okay? The question, when I talk, nobody can hear you because I'm gonna mute you when I talk. When I'm speaking and when words are coming out of my mouth, nobody can hear you. When I stop talking and say, hey, you can respond, at that point people can hear you. Right now, I can't hear you. Nobody else can. So you can talk all you want to. It doesn't even matter. Now, you're saying that it was not any report that was obstructed. So where is the obstruction? Who was obstructed? Don't read that to me. Just give me a concise answer. Was it Bob Mueller? Was it a different person? Who was the person that was obstructed?
His report said that obstruction occurred.
Okay, like who was obstructed?
Obstruction occurred from the Trump administration.
Who was obstructed?
Then, like I told you, the guy.
Sir, look. Okay, I'm gonna give you one last chance. I'm trying to be a nice guy. I promise. I'm a very nice guy, and I just want the best of people. I'm gonna give you one last chance to answer my question. Who was obstructed?
Well,
I'm waiting.
The investigation was trying to be obstructed if Trump would have fired Mueller. Trump did not fire Mueller because he told his counsel.
Who was obstructed, sir?
Him. So his counsel said, "I'm not doing this crazy, whatever." He left.
Sir.
Resigned.
Okay, since you can't answer that question, why can't? Okay, since you can't answer that question, I got a different question for you. Why can't you answer my questions?
What is the question? No, he didn't obstruct no report. No, he didn't obstruct no report. That's your answer? That's what you want me to tell?
Who was obstructed? That's all I'm trying to get to. Who was obstructed?
Well, the intent to obstruct the investigation. Intent. That means you try and intend.
But he didn't do it.
That's what I just said. Intent to obstruct the investigation. And that's what it says in the
So there was no
report.
obstruction then, correct?
There was no obstruction. But
all right then. So what are you talking about?
Okay.
So we agree.
So
we agree that there was no obstruction. Next.
Why didn't want the
no.
What is it? Why didn't want him?
You
to
said that there was no
himself?
obstruction, so that's all I really want to hear.
No, that's not
what else? What else you got?
That's what you saying.
You just said it just now. You just said just now that there was no obstruction.
No, but that's
you
what
said that he tried to obstruct, but there was no obstruction.
Internal obstruction. So that's what I'm saying. So what Mueller says is, hey, he can indict him because he's sitting president cannot be indicted.
And indicting him for what? Indicting him for what? There was no obstruction or collusion or anything like that.
It was obstruction.
All right, okay. I think I've said obstruction enough for tonight. So you have a nice night. You know what? I try to be all right with Ivan. I try to have the opposing side on, but I'm not gonna have my blood pressure go through the roof dealing with that kind of individual. There's no obstruction. It's simple. Matter of fact, hold on. Let's go ahead and just see if I can play this right quick. I'm gonna see if I can turn this on. You guys give me 1 second. Let me see if I can hold on. Let's see if I can find the clip where Bob Mueller says there was no obstruction. And actually, I think that Trump posted a video that clearly says it. All right, let me see if I can find it right quick. Give me 1 second here. Let me see if I can pull it up. Okay, this might be it. Let's see if this is it.
Now, before we go to questions, I want to add one correction to my testimony this morning. I want to go back to one thing that was said this morning by Mr. Liu, who said, and I quote, "You didn't charge the president because of the OLC opinion." That is not the correct way to say it. As we say in the report, and as I said at the opening, we did not reach a determination as to whether the president committed a crime. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I'm ready to answer.
That ain't it. But you guys know what it is. I don't even got to say too much. Hold on. Let me see. This might be.
The name of that firm, when you talk about... At any time with the investigation, was your investigation curtailed or stopped or hindered?
No.
At any time with the investigation, was your investigation curtailed or stopped or hindered?
No.
At any time with the investigation, was your investigation curtailed or stopped or hindered?
No.
No obstruction. There we go. Let's move on to something else. How about that? Right, he said it right there. That's him, and that's Bob Mueller right there. That's him. That's the hearing. It was live. He said it on camera, right in front of your face. So let's move on to something else. How about that? All right. Let's go to 216 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL.
What's going on?
Hey, this is Mr. Barlow, man, from Ohio. What's going on?
Everything's good, man. What's happening?
Man, Robert Mueller, he was so bad, man. I don't think he had no sleep. That's what it was.
Yeah, he looked pretty bad on the floor. He looked like he was just 1 foot in the grave, really.
Yeah, man. He like the type of person, man. He probably thought it was Tuesday, and they was trying to wake him up. Like, you got to wake up. You got to wake up. He kept going back to sleep. Give me another 15 minutes.
Yeah, for
now
real.
It's 6:30. And he like, what? I gave that report, man. I already did it 2 months ago. What y'all talking about, man? He was just lost, man.
Yeah, he was.
He was just clearly lost. And before I get off, I think for 2020, if Trump second term, I think all hell will break loose, man, because they really go come down on conservatives, which they're doing now. But I think they personally are going to start going after people who voted for Donald Trump, like through their employers. They're going to do all kind of nasty tactics, man. You just got to be on guard, like with social media and all that, man, because they really go come down on us, man. If he get in office, they coming down on the people next. That's what they're going to do. The common folks, they go after us next. That's all I have to say, man. You have a good day.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. All right, shout out to the caller. Yeah, he's right about that. That kind of already happens. That's what Antifa does. They'll dox you and send information to your employer. That's what they do already. So yeah, he's on to something there for sure. And anybody that has a job where they got to protect it and they can't have the social media interfere, just be on guard, man. Don't let yourself be known out there. If you want to be online, just be anonymous. Use anonymous emails. That's pretty much how it's got to be. And hope more of us are able to have businesses that are conservative to where you don't got to worry about that. More Arthur Blanks of the world that are out there. I think Arthur Blanks is conservative, if I'm not mistaken. Your Robert Kraft, people like that are more conservatives. Don't worry about the whole thing in Florida. We ignore that thing with Robert Kraft. But anyway, I digress. Let's get to the super chats right quick before we get to the next call. Thank you to Holden Caulfield, who says Trump as president is over the executive branch and can appoint or remove anybody in the executive branch for any or no reason. Have Mr. Knowledge call or read Constitution. There you go. Very good. Thank you for that. Most certainly appreciate you. He could fire Bob Mueller if he wanted to, but the whole thing would be just optics. It'll just look bad, but it wouldn't be illegal for him to do that. But again, thank you for your donation and your comment. Shout out to Crush Grooven, who says, I'm speaking more silly than Mueller. All righty. And shout out to Crush Grooven again, who says, if I'm on here for 5 minutes, it makes my night. Hey, thank you for your donation. I'm glad you're able to help me out here. Thank you to Slamming Brandon, who says, nobody wants Erica Thomas being referred to as Cisco. And nobody want to see that thong. Hey, you're hilarious, man. Thank you for the comment. Most certainly appreciate you and your donation. Thank you to Dr. Schockenberg, who says, I wanted to address the part about Mueller looking aged. My question is how Trump, 73, yet he looks like he's getting younger, while it's a well-known fact that the presidency aged people dramatically. Because the thing about it, a lot of these people in the presidency are not actually, how can I say it? They're not there themselves. They're just being filled. They're an empty shell being filled with other things. Trump is pretty much doing things how he wants to do it, while the other guys are being told, okay, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to do that. You wake up in the morning, here's your itinerary. You can't say anything about it. Just do what we tell you to do. That can age you right there, when you can't live like the way you want to live it. But thank you for your donation. Shout out to Psalm 91, who says, NYPD being doused with water. Yeah, I saw that whole situation, but the problem, I almost did a video about that, but the problem was they said at least the situation in Brownsville, the police were cool with it. It was just really weird. I don't really understand. I think the one situation in Harlem, some guys got arrested, but in Brownsville, it wasn't like that. It was just kind of a confusing case, but either way it goes, you can't be just throwing water on people and throwing buckets on people's heads. That can't really happen. And a lot of that comes from a lack of respect for police, which also comes from City Hall, Bill de Blasio, who has certain rules, regulations out there that don't really protect police officers. But thank you for your donation. Shout out to Holden Caulfield, who says Weissman picked Mueller's all-Democrat voter Trump hating team and spearheaded the investigation. Thank you for that. Thank you to Crash Grooven, who says great point, Stymie. Not sure who that is, but whatever the case may be, thank you for your donation. Shout out to Brandon Herbert for your donation. Shout out to Stymie, who says track the money they paid for Mueller's lawyer. That's the key. Good point. Thank you to Henry Toledo, who says thumbs up from East Tennessee. Shout out to East Tennessee. Glad to see you in the building. Crush Griffin says fears Mueller the 2.5 year day off. Hilarious. Thank you for that. Thank you to Valerie Rogers, who says if Republicans can get control, sanity returns. She's talking about control of the House and Senate. Thank you for that. Most certainly appreciate you. Very good comment as well. Shout out to Chart Data, who says you're the best, man. Hey, I thank you. And also thank you to Henry Toledo for the donation. Most certainly appreciate you yet again. But let me get back to the call. So the number to call is 434-658-1220. Let me get to the call here. All right, caller, you're on the line, 347. Who am I speaking to? All right, Joshua, what's happening?
What's happening to Andy Brian Logan?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain. What's on your mind?
That's what it's all about. You know
You're talking about my man, Bob Mueller.
Yeah.
He was all over the place. I don't know what's going on with him. He was retired. They should have let him stay retired because he's retired for a reason, obviously.
Right. Yeah, he did retire, but they forced him to come back because they want Trump out of office. That's why. That's all they want. They want Trump out of office. Not no policy positions. No. They just want Orange Man bad.
Yeah, Orange Man bad. That's pretty much the mantra of the left.
Yeah. Like, I didn't watch the media at all, really at all. I heard some snippets. It was a whole big nut burger. But I did hear that Jim Jordan kicked butt during that circus.
Yeah, Jim Jordan did very well.
Yeah. He should be Speaker of the House, hopefully, during the 2020 election.
Hey, that would be fantastic if he was able to get in there for sure. Because Paul Ryan, he had to go. He's a
neocon.
Neocon, a waste of space, useless. Nancy Pelosi, obviously Democrat, has no control over the party. Nancy Pelosi is good because she's pretty much being
she's a bumbling idiot.
A bumbling idiot being thrown overboard in a mutiny. So she's good for that. But once we get control of the House again, yeah, have him come in there and be the Speaker of the House. That'd be fantastic.
Right. And another thing I want to talk about is that California transgender woman, quote unquote, suing someplace because he doesn't remove his you know what.
Oh, I think you're talking about the person that's trying to get the waxing.
Yes.
Yeah, they're actually in Canada.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. That is as a bisexual person. This is not pro-gay. This is some fringe SJW type of wackadoo, cockadoo type of crap that these leftists trying to do. Like, this is not progressive at all.
Well, you know what it is. You know what it is. I think the person trying to get money because they're talking about lawsuits and going to people's jobs and getting them. It's about trying to get money, really trying to get paid. This person ain't really trying to, they're trying to fund their lifestyle. I don't know what they do for a living. They might just be some people are litigious for a living. That's what they do. They don't do anything else but just file lawsuits. This might be this person's whole shtick right here.
Right. Like, what happens if this gets passed, though? There's going to be more cases like this, just like in the Colorado gay kink thing, and et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, yeah.
They just want to keep going to the point that they're going to fall down a cliff
That's
to
right.
their own demise.
That's right.
A fun thing I want to talk about today is, are you watching the Democrat debate or live stream the debate next week?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'll definitely be live streaming that for sure.
But why, though? It's the same old SHIT.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun to see, and I want to see how any of them are going to separate themselves away from the pack.
Well, look at that. They're going Beto O'Rourke is going to I hope he does that again.
Well,
please.
I think they're going to try to go even more to the left, because the last time it was a battle of who's the biggest leftist of all. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's biggest leftist of all? That's what they're going to try to do this time, as they did, the last time. So that's what I want to see. I want to see how far they're going to go.
Right. Like, exactly. Like, Steve Bullock, I thought he was like a moderate Democrat because he's the governor of a conservative state of Montana, but no, he's just a elitist Democrat. Actually, my real final point of the day is that, you ever heard of dark humor?
You said dark humor?
Yeah.
Yes, I have. You talking about just a general concept of dark humor?
Yeah, like, for example, I know you heard about, like, the fire of I talked about this last Saturday that happened in Kyoto.
Oh, no, don't, no, too soon. No, too soon.
People are always creating memes about it.
No. We're not going to do that here, because shout out to, hey, much respect to Japan. That was really horrific. We're not going to do that. So you can just go ahead and pause right there, man. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Definitely appreciate it.
All right, now shout out to Joshua. No, too soon for that one. But shout out to my man Joshua for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. But let me get to my next one here. The number to call is I'm tripping. I'm reading that number over there. 434-658-1220 is right there. 434-658-1220. All right, call you on the line, 205. Who am I speaking to?
My brother. Good to hear from you again. Get the chance to call into your show again. And I just wanted to say, I was listening to your show earlier and about the conspiracy thing, this whole conspiracy collusion thing that they talking about with Trump and Mueller and everything. Number one, for that to be a criminal, you got to have two things: the mens rea and actus rea. Mens rea being the guilty mind, actus rea being the actual guilty act. Trump never did anything, so he never did anything to actually obstruct anybody. They already cleared him for collusion. They said he didn't do it, and then they keep going with this whole obstruction thing, which he never acted on it. He never did anything. He might have, talked around it a little bit, but he never acted on it. And it's really it's getting to the point now with these Democrats. It's totally out of hand. This is politics. The whole thing with politics is supposed to be the policy-making body. And we have not seen one piece of policy come out of that house since Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats have taken over.
That's right. Because all they're doing right now is passing resolutions and investigations into Donald Trump. But what about actual policy that's supposed to be put forward? That's not happening right now.
Exactly. And it's the same thing all over when you look at every one of these liberal Democrats, especially these young Democrats, this new generation of young Democrats. And it's really sad to say, because I hate to see what would happen if these individuals actually took over a lot of state houses, the United States House, the Congress, House and Senate, because there's nothing actually going to get done. The whole thing is just political theater, and that's the only thing that we will actually have is political theater. No actual policy that actually means anything to make this country better. And I saw your video earlier this week about the girl Erica Thomas, because I saw a little bit about it this weekend. I didn't get a chance to look at it until I actually saw your video. I think it was like Monday morning, and it was just amazing to me to see somebody come out here to make an accusation that this guy is a racist, and to say that he told her to go back to Africa or go back to wherever. And then for him to turn around and turn it all back around on her, to show up at her interview at the Publix, and to really make her look like the idiot that she is. And I've seen this so much when I majored in political science in college. I've seen, it's like these people take a class to learn this stuff. I'm 38, and I have never seen, I've never heard the word racism and racist be used so much in the past 2 weeks. It's so played out now.
Yeah, it's getting to the point now where it's like everything is racist, so nothing is racist. It's like a little boy who cried wolf. You keep talking about racism, and then when it actually happens, you're gonna be like, okay, is it fake? Is it real? What's really going on?
Exactly, and I mean, she looks so much like Jessie Smollett. I mean, and it's pathetic. It's really pathetic. You're a state legislature in the state of Georgia. She was. It's funny because Tucker Carlson interviewed her a couple of months ago in regards to something that was, I think it was a gun bill in regards to them taking guns away from people in Georgia in the Second Amendment. She overtalked him the same way she did the gentleman at Publix. And people have their own opinions. Both of them could be considered jerks, but at the same time, this lady is unreasonable. If this is what you're gonna get, and people should really take note, if this is what you're gonna get from the Democratic Party, as far as young politicians, up and coming, people like her, Ted Lieu, the other young Democrat, the guy from New York, and AOC, the Squad. If this is what we're going to get, if this is what you're going to put in front of us as far as our leaders, we're in big trouble.
That's right.
We're in big trouble. And I'm not going to hold you on any more than that. That's all I got to say.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, brother. Keep it going.
All right, now, peace. All right, great call. And I've been saying that for a while. I agree with him 100%. They keep putting all these people that it's like, come on, what are we really doing? You out here talking about, everything is racist and you got to use proper pronouns and just really silly stuff. And that's going to be the face of the Democratic Party, the Squad, and people like Bill de Blasio, all these people, nut jobs, really. How can you gain anybody with that? Maybe you're able to be popular on social media, popular maybe in your particular district. Not even really all the way that, because Bill de Blasio was hated in New York by both liberals and Republicans, conservatives alike. Okay? And people like AOC, you ran in a spot that was pretty much just open up for grabs. A guy that had no idea that anybody would run in his district and actually take it. It was a soft seat just to get your way in there to get into government. Okay? It's crazy, but let me get to some more calls here. All right. Call you on the line, 917. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, Anthony. This is Rachel from Queens.
All righty. What's going on?
Well, I wanted to say hello to you, and I wanted to say that you're doing a great job. I've been listening to you for some time now, and I'm just happy with, all the work that you do, and I want to tell you that I appreciate everything that you do. I did want to say something about the hearings today. I did listen to them, and I wasn't surprised. I saw exactly what I had expected to see, and not that I read the report or anything, because I wouldn't spend my time reading that report. But I do listen to a lot of shows, so I knew what was in it, and I knew what to expect. But I'm also, I know it's just it was a big waste of time and money, because what's going to happen is it seems it's just going to divide us more. It seems now from this point we're people are just going to stay divided. The Democrats, they don't want to give an inch. They don't want to admit that they're wrong about anything. and it's, you know, it's disappointing, but you know, of course, I'm a Trump supporter, and I'm a conservative, not a Republican, and you know, I have very conservative values, so I, you know, would never vote for a Democrat for the reason that they don't have any, you know, values that I share.
That's right. I'm right there with you. I think a lot of people are like that too. People are starting to just see what's really going on and just look at life in a different way, in a more common sense kind of way, for sure.
Yes, and you know, people like you are waking people up, like this alternative. I've been listening to alternative media since before Trump won, about maybe a year and a half before, you know, like when he announced he was running. For some reason, I just kind of knew I wasn't getting the truth from the regular news networks, so I started listening to alternative. And ever since, I mean, I almost never listen to, you know, the regular news except for maybe Fox. You know, I might listen to Fox, but, you know, even sometimes with them too, you don't get all the information. Where with the alternative networks, you get all the information. And I'm hoping that this can be like the new wave of the future, you know, alternative media. We don't have to be, you know, misled and lied to by mainstream, you know. I also wanted to say something about, one other thing though, before I forget, I want to say that I watched that whole thing when you guys went to the White House. What was it, the Young Black Conservative Movement or something like that? You were all invited to the White House?
Yes.
You and Will and
yeah.
Yeah, that was so awesome, and I remember kind of living vicariously through you guys. I was just excited for you. You know, I'm not young. I'm not old, but I'm not young, and I was very excited for you guys, and just, you know, I really, you know, felt like I wish I could be there saying rah rah rah, you know, but I was in my house doing that. I, you know, wanted to say something too about Obama and, you know, the legacy that he leaves behind. In his first term, I voted for him. I loved everything he had to say. I thought, you know, he was being honest about everything, and I thought, oh my God, this is so wonderful. A black president. I never thought I'd live to see this day, and I was so caught up in all that he said, because he sounded so truthful. And I remember after the first term, I didn't follow him. I didn't follow politics the way I do now, but I didn't follow everything that he was doing. But I remember at the end of his first term, I remember being very disappointed in everything that he said he was going to do. And he definitely changed a lot of things, but he was pushing for, you know, changes that, like, I certainly wasn't ready for, or not ready for, just not supporting. You know, like when that night he lit up the White House, I thought I was going to cry. I was like, oh my God, what's he doing? You know, and I remember, you know, like, I just felt betrayed by him, because he also went around the world, you know, preaching about how bad this country was. You know, like giving speeches on all our terrible history, like people don't know what happened, you know, but he was like going to certain places and just stirring up hate. And I felt it, not so much, you know, in my neighborhood, because I live in a great neighborhood. I don't know if you know Queens, New York, but it's just very diverse, and, you know, everybody loves everybody, and there's nothing goes on here that, you know, would scare you into thinking, oh, if I'm this race, I can't live there. You know, everybody can live here, and feel okay with it. But I know there are still certain neighborhoods that, you know, are not good for certain people. There's, you know, sometimes white people can't go into certain neighborhoods, black people can't go into other neighborhoods that might cause trouble. I don't know. I don't go into any of those neighborhoods. I stay in my neighborhood. But I just remember being so disappointed and feeling so betrayed by what Obama did. And then, of course, in Trump and, you know, everything that he talked about, it just sounded like, okay, now, we have another chance at making things right. Everything that got twisted and turned, in this country and broken, maybe Trump can fix. Trump isn't God, but I think he's really doing a great job so far. But I know he's got like an everyday battle. I don't even know how he's doing it. I mean, I know that it has to be God's hand in his life, because I can't imagine anybody being able to live through that, the daily barrage of hate and all these terrible things that the Democrats and the extreme left, I don't want to say Democrats, but the extreme left, they just say so many terrible things about him, and it makes me, kind of sad to see our country the way it is. But I have hope, and people like you give me hope. People that are getting out there and going on, creating their own news networks. That's what I call them, and just really getting the truth out there to the people.
Well,
and I just wanted to let you know that I'm grateful for people like you. And also, I pray for you. I pray for you and everybody else who's getting out there and getting the truth out, because, we need prayer. We can't do anything without God.
Well, absolutely. And I thank you for the call. A very good call. I definitely appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Anthony. I'm going to keep listening and learning.
All right. I appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate her. All right, you guys. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Let me go ahead and get to my next one here. 602, you know, I'm speaking to.
Absolutely. Thank you for
602. Yes. Can you hear me? Okay. I'm hearing feedback right now. Turn your speakers on in the background for me, please. Yeah, stop. Just stop the stream in the background. Just turn the stream off. Talk to me on the phone. Okay. Turn the stream off. Talk to me on the phone.
Turned it off.
All right. So what's going on?
What's going on is I am wondering why people are not being held accountable for their actions. Like Cory Booker acting as a coyote. I mean, he broke the law. He was taking those illegals over the border. He had no right to do that. And yet he's going to be on the stage as a presidential, as a presidential candidate. And then the squad, they were doing illegal things. And you'll see down at the border. It's just like, when is it going to stop? Jussie Smollett, he's still running around loose. It's like, and then there's Erica woman. Nothing's going to be done with her, and yet she's isn't she like a congresswoman?
Well, she's in the local government in Georgia.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. It really bothers me about Cory Booker, though.
Yeah, I mean, you have a good point there, because these people, I mean, they're doing things that regular, everyday folks, if they did, they would get locked up for. Because if you are escorting a person across the border that is illegal, that's coming into the country, and you're legal, and that's called being a coyote. So anybody else should get locked up for it.
Well, he's I don't know. I just don't understand why people are not held accountable for what they do anymore.
Yeah.
You go on YouTube and it's just a mess. But I just was wondering. I don't want to keep you on the phone because I know a lot of other people want to get to you too. But I don't want to be like that previous caller you just had from Queens. Yeah. Are people listening to this?
Yes, we're on live right now, so everybody's listening.
Well, I don't mean to be mean, but okay. Well, I couldn't wait to talk to you. Now I don't know what to say, but I was just in like the squad with their shenanigans, what they're doing to the president. It's just I don't know. I can't think of right now who else is doing stuff and not being held accountable for it. But
yeah, I hear you. Well, I appreciate the call. Hopefully you call back again.
Yeah, I will. It's so nice to talk to you in person because you have like a calming presence on the internet.
I try to be.
Rude. Everybody else gets so PO'd real fast, and you listen to them, and then you get up and you're like, and at least you have a voice of reason.
That's right.
Do you know if Nadler's going to leave President Trump alone?
He probably won't, because that's all he's been doing since Trump's been in office, is trying to mess with him. So he may, but I don't see why he would. He's been going this far, so he might as well keep on going. In his mind, that's what he's probably thinking.
Oh, well, people call him the Penguin. He looks like the Penguin from Batman. Doesn't he, though?
Yeah, he does.
Really? Oh, he's disgusting. And Pelosi, too, and all those other people. Well, anyhow. Okay, Anthony, well, thank you so much. It was so nice to talk to you. I'm glad I got through.
I'm glad you're able to
Really?
get through.
Yeah, me too. All right, God bless you.
All right, thank you for the call.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, shout out to all the callers tonight. You guys have been great. The number to call is 434-658-1220. It is usually right here in the ticker below me, and also in the description box below, right at the very top. It'll say call in 434-658-1220. Let me get to my next one. Nippin, what's going on with you, boss?
Finally, we have a prime minister that we can actually rely on.
Yeah, you got Boris Johnson in there, right?
Yep. And he's made some really, well, depends where you are on the spectrum. To the left, he would be like questionable. To people like you and me, it would be just the right appointments. Now, he's made a lot of appointments to the cabinet. We call it the cabinet here as well.
Okay.
So the Secretary of we call them the Home Secretary here, in charge of immigration. I don't know. Yeah, the Homeland Security.
Okay.
They're known as the Homeland Security in the States. So our Home Secretary is actually a staunch Brexiteer.
Ah, okay.
And which is good, because imagine if we had a Remainer as in charge of immigration.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good at all. You wouldn't be able to get anything done.
And the left can't even play the race card, because not only is she, and yeah, they can't even play the gender card, because notice how I said she?
Right.
Because she has immigrant parents from India.
Ah.
So they can't play the two major cards they would play. They can't play the race card or the gender card.
That's right.
So they can't call him racist or sexist. What they can do is they can say, that was just a token gesture for publicity. No. He does not have a racist bone in his body.
That's right.
I can see it now. It's going to get rather ugly over here as well. We're going to have day in, day out people accusing Boris Johnson of things that he didn't do. I mean, the left needs to go and hide because this is.
I heard, like, Nippin, I heard they blocked his car today, didn't they? Boris Johnson.
There was a protest.
Yeah, they blocked his car from going. I don't.
Yeah.
So they're already starting the protest right now.
Yep.
Wow.
Well, we need someone like him because the UK and London in particular is a sinkhole. I can't use profanity, so you know exactly what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a sinkhole.
Yeah, so they got to tighten that up for sure. And you got to get people in there that are actually going to be able to do something about it.
Yeah, and let's see. Al Franken apologizing for, I'm sorry, Too little, too late. You had your chance.
Hey, he regretted resigning.
6 months ago.
He regretted resigning, talking about, oh, well, I shouldn't have resigned. It wasn't the right thing. It's like, no. It's too late now.
You've buttered your bread. Now eat it.
That's right.
So yeah, you've dug your grave. Now you have to go and sleep in it.
Right.
So, yeah, apparently pets are racist now too.
You said what now? Oh, pets are racist? Yes, apparently pets are racist. If your pet has white fur, it's racist. I guess if you have a white bird, a white dog, a white iguana, it's racist.
Oh God. What? Yeah, so apparently this is racist too.
Yeah, white balls are racist. White letters, white teeth, white paint, white sky.
You could just say my whole room here is racist.
Your cabinet is racist. Your walls are racist. Everything.
Yep. So yeah, Erica Publix does a hoax. Now what's that?
Oh, did you hear about the race hoax in the Publix in Atlanta, Georgia? Where the lady said that this lady got on Facebook Live and started crying, talking about, oh, I was just in the store and the white man said, go back to where you came from. Meanwhile, that didn't happen at all. She went back to the Publix to talk to the people about it, talk to the news about it. And then that guy she accused of being in this situation with her, he pulled up and was right there talking to her. He was like, I didn't say that. And the guy was like, she was trying to paint him as some kind of racist white Trump supporter, but he's a Cuban guy and hates Trump. And he didn't say anything that she said. Exactly. That was my reaction. That was my reaction too. It was crazy.
Yeah, very. Why? Oh, why? Oh, why? Now that's how bad the left has gone, that they can't even differentiate from their own kind.
That's right. Exactly. 100%.
Yep. I have a funny feeling you'll have 3 parties in a few years.
Well,
it's going that way.
Yeah, it might go that way, or if nothing else, you just have the Republican Party be the dominant one. Like we'll be dominant when it comes to national, and then the Democrats would be it's still in their pockets, like in LA, Chicago, New York. But you know, there's more than one. There's more than 2 parties right now. It's just that they don't have a lot of traction.
Look. The Democrats who want to switch to the Republican Party. Look, pretty soon, the Libertarian. There'll be more political parties emerging. It's a thing.
Libertarians, I don't know. I mean, some like the libertarian movement, if they want to be taken more seriously nationally, they got to have stronger leadership. People like Gary Johnson, what is Aleppo? That's not going to get it done. Ron Paul, he could be the face of the Libertarian Party, but
even Rand Paul could. Even Rand Paul.
Well, yeah, Ron's getting kind of old, so he probably want to just chill out. But definitely Rand, if he wanted to do it, he could do it.
Yeah, I mean, he's inconsistent when it comes to Trump. I don't know whether or not to actually believe what he says.
Because he's a libertarian. That's the point. He's not. He's kind of like on the fence about certain issues. He won't necessarily be a party voter all the time. Sometimes he will, but sometimes he won't.
Oh, and I've recently seen something about Joe Manchin. Despite being a registered Democrat, he has actually stated that he is going to consider supporting or even voting for Trump in 2020.
Hey.
I mean, good on him.
Absolutely, I'm with it.
The red pill is working.
It most certainly is. So good on him. And he's in West Virginia, so you can't really be anti-Trump there. But at the same time, for him to personally vote for Trump would be fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I think what will happen is he'll stay a registered Democrat, but he'll vote for Trump. If you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a bit like what's the name of that sheriff? David Clark.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit like him, who's a Democrat, but he supports Trump.
Exactly.
So, and then Mueller, he's pretty much a dead man walking.
Yeah, I mean, that might be the case because during the testimony, he looked pretty scared. Hey, you know, them Clintons have a pretty long track record of mysterious, quote unquote, mysterious deaths happening around them.
Mysterious? No. They were responsible for it.
Yeah.
Sorry. We know the truth here. And so do they. They're a mafia family, the Clintons.
That's what it looks like to me, for sure.
So yeah, which is why I don't want them anywhere near the White House.
Yeah, I hear you 100%. I'm glad that she was.
I don't want to see another Clinton or another Bush for that matter.
Yeah, no more Bushes.
Yeah, as in like I don't want to see another political dynasty.
But now they're trying to say that the Obamas might come back. You might try to have Michelle come back in there.
No. She's already said she's never gonna do it.
Hey, people have said that before, and then they come out and do it. So you never know. People may change their mind and have a change their heart. You never know what happens.
Yeah, and you know what? It's gonna get scary. 2024 is how old is Alex Ocasio-Cortez? Let's see.
AOC will be 35. She'll be 35 in 2020, like before election day.
1980. Oh my God! If she runs, no, that is going to be horrible.
Yeah, it will be.
I hope. This is a bit optimistic and wishful thinking. I hope Trump pulls off a 1984. I know it's not going to happen.
It's a long shot, but you know what? The problem.
It's a long shot, but it's not going to. I mean, the chances of that happening.
It could happen. Look, Nippin, it could happen because the candidates on the Democratic side are so weak. They're so weak, they might not have enough support to come out there and get them, but Trump will have all the support on his side, all the enthusiasm on his side. So it could happen. It's a long shot, but it could happen.
See these big states like California. Look, how will he get the cities to vote for him?
I don't know. That's a good point.
Like, let's get the cities to vote for him.
Right. Hold on. Like somebody said. I may have said it wrong. AOC can run in 2024. She'll be 35 before 2024 election day, not 2020, not next year. Yeah.
Look.
Okay.
I want to see someone young, but I do not want to see someone like Alex Ocasio-Cortez.
Hey, I'm right there with you, man. But I got a few more calls on the line, so I'm gonna get to those right quick.
Oh, sorry. So does that mean we have to do the testimony part next week, or?
Well, yeah, next time, next call on Saturday, we can do that.
I'll take a note of it. The testimony recap was the Mueller thing, right? I think we talked about that.
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah, so we good.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, we're pretty much done.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
I shall see you on Sunday.
Alrighty. I'll see you then.
Peace.
All right, thank you to Nippin. When he says Sunday, he means Saturday because it's Sunday over there in London, but it's Saturday my time. Because right now it's like dark 30 right now in London because of the time difference. And yeah, just to clarify what I said, she's 29 now, AOC. She'll be 30 in October. So it's 2019 right now. In 5 years, that'll be 2024. She'll be 35 on October of 2024, which is right before the election day of 2024. So she could run back. She could run then, but not right now. All right. And we got some more calls on the line. Thank you to everybody who was called in. If you're just now joining, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff for me. We got a lot of calls on the line. Let me go ahead and get to some here. Okay, let's get to 256 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's going on, Anthony? This is Jeff from Bama.
All righty, what's going on?
Hey, not much. The guy you just talked to, he mentioned that Mueller is a dead man walking, I guess you can say, is going to get Clintoned.
Hey, that's looking like what might happen.
Okay, well, a lot of people don't know this because basically it got swept under the rug. So I wanted to let you know and everybody out there listening that you can actually look it up, that the lead FBI agent that was investigating the Clinton Foundation committed suicide last night.
Allegedly, right?
No, he committed. Yeah, well, I'm just saying allegedly suicide.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. The lead guy, he committed suicide last night.
Wow.
At a nightclub in the middle of the dance floor.
No, wait. Okay. So this guy was the go-to guy, the lead person, and on the dance floor killed himself with a gun?
Yes.
Wow.
His name was Salvatore Cincinelli. I'll type it in right now. Yeah, look it up. It was reported, I think, by Washington Post. I think that's the only main one that reported it last night. But it's been covered up because of the Mueller report, or Mueller everything today.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, it says FBI agent FBI agent brother to cop accused of murder for hire plot, dead by suicide.
Yeah, if you go down and look at a couple of other ones, though, they're talking about like what happened instead of that's basically talking about his sister.
Okay.
But she's in jail or whatever, something she did like 10 years ago.
I got you. Okay.
Yep,
Wow.
Another one for the Clinton body count.
Yeah, it's stacking up pretty heavy over there. And it's pretty clear what's happening. I mean, you had Seth Rich, my other guy, what was his name? Amos.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that he killed himself or something. They said that he hit himself with some weights, and the weights were like on the back of his head, like an impossible position for him to do that to himself. Just really silly stuff that doesn't make any sense. And there's obviously a pattern. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, if you going through and reading like the other articles and whatnot, he was the lead investigator from the FBI into the Clinton Foundation.
Gotcha.
Anyway, I just wanted to let people know since he mentioned that. I was like, oh, I bet people don't know about this.
I sure didn't.
He got suicided. But
That's
anyway,
right.
I just wanted to let you know, man.
Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yep, have a good one.
Same to you. Wow, great information. You guys are giving me fantastic information that I didn't even know. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna put that one in the cut and remember that one, do a little bit of reading on it, see what's really going on with it. But let me get to the next call. Alrighty. All right, caller on the line, 267. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, my name is Anthony.
Alrighty, what's going on? Great name, by the way.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I've been listening to you for a few months now. I like everything you have to say. Definitely right now, I feel like what's going on in the country is like, you got one side talking about how everything Trump's doing is wrong. He's racist. Everything he does, it's completely racist. And you got another side, sticking up for him. So it's kind of hard to tell exactly where he stands,
Mm-hmm.
But once you really dig deep into it and actually think about it, you come to the conclusion that, he's doing what's best for the country.
Absolutely.
So I feel like right now, what's going on in the news with the Mueller guy, you're doing a little digging and you're like, oh, well, this guy's talking about, Trump's, colluding with the Russians. Like, all right, well, you do a little homework and do a little digging, and it's like they don't have any evidence. So So you come to the conclusion like, oh well, these guys are just slamming on the president. Like, you're supposed to, support your president.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just think like the left and the right are like fighting so much these days. It's just like so bad for the country.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be like that, especially when you're talking about Congress, because you got to be able to get things done for your constituents. And if you out here fighting, then how are you getting anything done? You're spending too much time on the battlefield than actually passing legislation for your constituents, which is what you were there to be doing. That's why you got hired by the people.
Exactly. So all this back and forth is just like counterproductive for, to get the country moving along, and it's just frustrating, like I've been, listening to a lot of politics for the past year, and like I listen to, CNN, and they're like talking about all, it's the complete polar opposite to the stuff that I listen to. I listen to a lot of, stuff online, like YouTube and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I get a lot of, I feel like I'm educating myself one way, and then I'll watch something on CNN or something, and it's the complete opposite. And I feel like they're brainwashed. It's like, it's hard for me to decipher what's real and what's not. And like, the more I dig into it, it's like I come to the realization that these people really are just out to, just like Trump's the bad guy. No matter what he does, like, we're gonna look at him like, oh, he's a lunatic, Yeah,
it's all about trying to maintain power for themselves, because they can't control the person that's in there right now. They can't tell them to do whatever they want. They can't get certain things done the way they want. So they just want them to get out, and then they'll be able to put somebody in there who they can actually control. And I think that's also why he gets grief from the right sometimes as well. Your Paul Ryans of the world, your Mitt Romneys of the world, your John McCain's of the world, because they can't control them, and they don't like that too much, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. See, I really think this is going to die down a little bit, and like they really don't have any. They don't have anywhere to go from here. I feel like after this, especially after the Mueller hearing, like they're going to look for the next, thing, and they're going to like attack it. And there's really nothing that they could, grab onto anymore. Like everybody's going to kind of figuring it out, like figuring out like, oh, he's kind of they're clueless, like it's just like it's kind of frustrating,
That's right.
To sit back and just to see all the attacks. It's just,
I hear you, man.
I don't know. I just wanted to get that off my chest.
Well, I thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, Anthony.
All right, now take care.
Good talking to you. Bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. Let me get to the next call here. All righty, caller. Unknown number. Who am I speaking to?
Yes, this is Sean.
All right, Sean, what's happening?
Yeah, I would like to formally, on behalf of myself, apologize.
Hold on, hold on. Before you do that, I got background noise. Can you turn the speakers off in the background for me?
All right, hold on. I had a couple friends call in, and they're right here. They're listening to me on the Xbox, and they see me listening to you a lot.
Okay.
And they thought that they would call in and just be a prank. That one dude that called about his girlfriend, he was doing a prank call.
Okay. Yeah, I figured.
All right. But I want to get back to the beginning. We were talking about the racial stuff in the beginning, where you see there's a whole bunch of racial things going on. And do you notice that you can see that it's all fake, but you can always find someone doing something fake, but you can't see someone doing something real?
Yeah, that's pretty much. You're talking about like these race hoaxes. Yeah, it's always something
Yeah,
fake.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
But
it's
you
never.
can see people doing real things, but in another way. You see?
Yeah, it's a real hoax. It's a real attempt to try to get somebody in a compromising position,
Yeah.
but it's not based on reality. It's just based on whatever.
What
they made
I
up in their
believe,
mind.
it's the same way as like they did in communist Russia, where racism really came up with. Where racism really meant you were against communism. You just call somebody racist, and they were communists.
Right.
So now everybody's confused, don't know. You're cisgender. What does that mean? You're cisgender? Oh, I'm a heterosexual. What does that mean? No, we're going to switch the language up and say you're just a cisgender. Because now we're all confused, like, I don't even know who to talk to and what's going on, because I just got to stare at my feet. Because I'm so afraid I might mess up by talking to somebody. I might say you're this, that, or the other thing. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Right. It's like you can't really do too much. I mean,
I
anything
can't
you
even say yes, sir, and yes, ma'am
Nah,
anymore.
you can't.
If I called you an it or a thing, that's the most disrespect I can. My dad would slap me in my face.
Right. You can't even say anything. You can't talk at all because you should just be able to
Yes.
say simple like, yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, but you can't assume nobody's gender. But if you call them a thing or something like
All
that, it's
you can
also
do is look at your feet and go on the line and
Yeah.
go on the line, just like 1944. I mean 1984.
yeah, pretty much.
Thank you. I love you. I've been watching you a lot. I gotta go.
All right, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. Shout out to the caller. He's right on point though. All you could do is pretty much look down at your feet, and that's pretty much it. You can't do nothing else. That's just really where it's going to be at right now. So shout out to everybody calling on the stream. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Everybody, don't be afraid to call. I'll take in all callers. And thank you to the super chatters. I'll read you guys' comments in just a moment. I'm going to try to get to everybody as soon as I can, so y'all just hang tight. All righty, Shreeves, what's happening?
ABL, what's going down, brother?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
First of all, I apologize. I'm really tired tonight, but I had to call in. That the guy who called in before about the FBI agent, I saw that news, and I was like, oh man, he actually used to be a Wall Street broker, I think. And you notice all these people that work with the Clintons, they all were something else. Like Comey, I'm not sure if people knew this, but you know me, I've been talking about this you and I've been friends for years, and we've been talking about this. And I've been calling in for years talking about all this stuff, including the Mueller report. But and I'll get to that in a second because it's the only thing I want to cover actually. But you notice that they're all something else. Like Wall Street broker, Comey was their lawyer. He was involved in Whitewater with Hillary. Mueller, all of them. Mueller was the bag-in in Uranium One. All this stuff. So you notice like they're all connected somehow prior because they're all family.
I see.
And I don't mean like family like blood. You get what I'm saying,
Right.
right?
Like they're all like part of the same kind of clique.
Yeah, it's like a mafioso, and that's really what it is. That's why, I am an independent centrist the way I am, is because I didn't like the Bushes, obviously, because I felt like Bush Sr. and Clinton and Mena, Arkansas, the whole thing, that's really kind of that moment that woke me up. A lot of people think I'm young, like they think I'm young. I'm actually not. I'm older than you, ABL, actually, right? Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
You did? Yeah. I'm 37, so I'm older, But hey, I got the good looks, so I feel good. But yeah, this whole thing with Mueller, honestly, I couldn't tell if his face was melting from all the heat he was catching in that room, or I had the face app on. Man, he was shook. It was shook. So shook. Honestly, I feel like if you pulled on his chin and just like stretch it all the way back and just let it go, he'd stick to the ceiling like one of those sticky hands.
I remember those.
So yeah. Oh man. Shout out to Nunes too, and Jim Gordon. Jim. Yeah. He was basically what they were saying. Because I don't want to quote their words. I don't even remember what they said basically. But in a nutshell, what they were saying was, you had this whole investigation that was BS, and he was basically saying, why don't we start talking about how we started this whole BS investigation, which was the juicy stuff. And that's when Nunes, I think, was it Nunes that said it? He was talking about the dossier and stuff like that.
I think it might have been him. Yes.
So, yeah, but either way, and if you remember, like 2 years ago, because I remember it was 2 years ago, I was in my old apartment complex. I called in about this to you, and you and I were talking about this, but I was like, man, if people aren't looking at this, like Ivan, I hope you're listening right now, because he supports like Hillary, and God knows, she deserves worse than jail, in my opinion, for all the things she's done. But, basically, we've been saying this for years, and I've called in about this to you for years. And if you look back at it, again, Christopher Steele with the dossier, the fake dossier, giving it to Fusion GPS, Nellie Orr, Bruce Orr, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, all the three-letter boys that were involved with it. This is all inner circles. They even talk about it in their text. They're talking about inner circles and secret societies, quote unquote. That's in their text, But obviously we know they were just inner circles. And a lot of this stuff, it's been going on for a long time, And I've been trying to tell people, like, hey, if you can't hold a stick to any of this stuff. This is all BS, and we knew it was going on. So I mean, I'm glad they just roasted him in there. They roasted him alive, and he was shook, completely shook. He looked like the droopy dog,
He did.
Put his tail between his legs. It's funny too because in ABL Discord. By the way, you know me. I like to get deep. Like I like to go beneath the surface, talking about Epstein, and I've been talking about Epstein. You know that? Remember that? I called in like a few years ago about that.
Yeah.
And I was telling you about that, how that was all going to come out,
Mm-hmm.
and the Clintons on the manifest and everything, and how Trump wasn't on there. So that's all starting to come out now. I told people who didn't believe me, a few years ago, I was like, watch what happens. Just watch what happens. And I called in about it, 3 years ago. So if you want to talk to us, come into the ABL Discord, because I'm a deep conversator. I am. But what do you think about, all that stuff that's coming out now? Like, do you think they're going to talk about the dossier and Fusion GPS and Nellie Orr and Bruce Orr, Strzok and Lisa Page and all this other stuff?
Well, I'm not really sure. It's going to be interesting to see what the media says, how they spin certain things, because they like to leave certain things out. They don't, let's like with the whole the Epstein thing. They want to say how Trump was partying with him in 1991 or whatever at Mar-a-Lago, but then they want to talk about Slick Willie, how he was on the manifest like 26 times and what they were doing on the plane and everything else. They don't want to talk about that. They want to talk about it in a one-sided way. So it'd be difficult to really gauge it right now. Maybe in a little bit they'll talk about it, but right now I don't really see them talking about too much more than Trump.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was thinking too. Because it took this long. Because like again, we were talking about this for years. If it took this long just for this stuff to come up now,
Right.
And for people to kind of realize it now, and a lot of people were telling me like, oh, well maybe Trump's just playing this strategy. He doesn't want to come down on him right now, just so he doesn't look like that type of like dictator type of attitude.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that too. And then the whole Epstein thing, I thought that was never going to blow, but it did. It did. And he's grounded, right? So. He didn't even get bail, right? I think he had like a 1.8.
He was trying to give him $77 million for bail, and it just didn't work. $77 million. It was like, nah, because you're going to be a flight risk.
Exactly.
He was trying to go to his Manhattan mansion. Like, how you have this 20,000 square foot mansion in Manhattan, and then nobody knows what's happening. But anyway, he was trying to go there and was like, no, because you're going to be a flight risk. They went into his house, the feds. They found a fake passport, 26 loose diamonds. It's like this dude was ready to go ahead and roll out for sure.
Oh, you're getting buried under the jail, boy. That's what happened to him. I hope so. I hope he starts singing like a canary, to be honest with you.
Absolutely.
And I can't wait. And there is a lot of stuff that's deeper than that too. You know me. Like I said, people think I'm crazy, but hey, I haven't been wrong so far, so prove me wrong. But yeah. The other thing, with everybody's talking about like AOC and the what's it called, the squad.
Yeah.
If we really want to get them out, you got to start, taking a look at people that are going up there. And I don't even put the shameless plug in, but I got to support Antoine Tucker.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Go to www.tucker.vote. Honestly, if you really want to get AOC out, it's the only way, because honestly, Antoine's been doing it for a long time. You know me, I love you, Jimmy J, and the New Right Party, Tony's channel. So I've been following you guys for forever, and we're all like half brothers, me, you, and Jimmy at least, So we've been like peas in a pod, man. And if you really want to get these guys out and just do something about it, you really can. You can do it right now. Go support Antoine Tucker, and we got to start now because, the moment is now. If we let it slip, then you really are going to have people like her running for president and stuff like that. We don't want that.
Absolutely.
So, and that's all. Hey, love everybody and peace out. If you guys want to talk, come into the ABL Discord. We're here, we're chatting, and I got a few stories to tell. So all that good stuff. ABL, peace out. All right, brother.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
As always, I got your back.
No doubt.
All right, peace.
Peace. All right, thank you to Trees for the call. Most certainly appreciate them. If you guys want to join the Discord, a link for that is in the description box below. And also, I'll put a link in the chat box right over here and right below the video for Tucker.vote. Yeah, vote for my man, Antoine Tucker. He's on Instagram under Montaga, MONTAGA, at MONTAGA. Follow him on there. Great dude. He's over there with Turning Point at, what's that? The Teen Action Summit. I forget the exact name of it, but it's a Turning Point USA Teen Summit. They're over there in DC right now. It just saw Trump. So yeah, shout out to him. And also the Discord server. There you go. T-Pain, you right on it. The boss is on the job, of course. T-Pain, she put the link to the Discord server right there. It's a free service. If you don't know what it is, you can talk to one another. The same way I'm talking right now on the microphone. You can do that to one another in rooms. You can type in different rooms. You can post memes, do all that good stuff. And it's free, absolutely free. And it's just for y'all, just for you guys in the ABL community. I guess you would call it that. But whatever it is, go over there right now. It's just for you guys. Discord. And the link is in the description box and also right there in the chat. But let me get to some more calls here. And I got about 15 more minutes live on the show. Thank y'all for being here. All righty. Who's this? Uncle Reggie, what's happening, boss?
Wow, I got in. Wow.
You got in.
Yeah, I'm amazed. I actually forgot what I was going to say now.
Of course, right? You got a whole beat list, and it's like, what do I say now? I forgot.
Yeah, I was listening to that song, man. The song, they were playing our song. It was like this weekend. I ended up in the hospital, so.
You all right?
Against Will. Yeah, I'm all right. I was at this party Saturday night, and we were at the campground, and they had a little dance, and I had a couple in my red Solo cup. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And that Nucleus Jam On It came on there, and I thought I was in my old crew. So I started flopping around. They thought I had epilepsy, man. I'm just kidding. So Bob Mueller today, what he did more damage than he helped, as far as Democrats go.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't know what they were trying to gain from that. Like, I just don't get it. They made themselves look crazy with that one.
Yeah, he was like Porky Pig up there. Yeah, it was horrible. A friend of mine thought maybe he was, a little dementia or something. I said, no, man, he checked in fine. He walked in there, yeah, I swear, he swore in and everything, and all of a sudden he started freaking out.
That's right.
Well, and he wouldn't answer questions pertaining to this very specific questions, but very vague answers. And it was pretty, and it started going the way I thought it was going to go. But then all of a sudden, that lady from what was it, Florida or Georgia? One of those two. One of the representatives started asking him questions. He wouldn't answer her either. A Democrat, he wouldn't answer her either. And he started playing that game where he's like, I was like, well, is he actually being, honest? Dare I say? And then he started doing it again, and he started playing games again, talking about Trump. It was just really cringy to me to watch. I almost fell asleep. It was pretty uneventful, but yeah, he didn't perform. I don't think the Democrats got what they paid for with him.
No, not at all.
Yeah. And then what would you have? That other lady down there in. We were talking about that earlier today. I caught a few of them. I was on a road. I actually was on the road. The thing about the party was actually real. I was at a dance party on Saturday night at a clothing optional club. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
It's a family show. I understand.
Yeah, family show. Yeah. Keep it PG-13.
Yeah. Hashtag no tan lines, baby. So I lost my sunglasses the first night. And there's a reason I wear my sunglasses. And if I took them all, if I took my sunglasses off, all the ladies would come and be on my channel instead of yours. So
Oh, okay, yeah, all right. So you gotta just make sure that you protect me. I got you, man. I appreciate that.
yeah, they're like two little oceans right there, right underneath my eyelids. Yeah, you don't want none of that. So yeah, here, I'll give them a peek. There we go. Anyhow, so that lady from Georgia, I think she was from Georgia. She was in the grocery store acting a fool.
Yeah,
Atlanta. She was in Atlanta. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she's standing there talking and griping on the cameras about how she's pregnant and can't stand up.
And the thing about it is, if she's pregnant and can't stand up, then I couldn't tell, because when she was out there in that press conference outside in the heat, she was standing up the whole time, doing all this head rolling and finger pointing and yelling. So, I mean, clearly she can't stand up.
She had that going on right there. And the fingers and the hands.
Yeah.
She had perfect dexterity. She was all right as far as I could tell.
Like she could start for the Dallas Cowboys right now.
Oh, and the poor guy. I mean, come on, man. That
Little
little
guy couldn't hurt her fly. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I kind of felt for him. You know, I mean, I'm sure he's a cringy Democrat, but I mean, he was a nice guy.
Right.
He's just a regular guy.
Exactly.
You know, and he's just kind of. And it came out later. She didn't know it. He was Hispanic. He's like, "What are you talking about? I'm Hispanic." You know? Oops. Yeah. So there's that. What else did you have on the itinerary here?
I don't even know. I mean,
I don't even know either. But it was good talking to you. I only caught a little bit of the show. I actually was watching part of a show. One of your watchers, she got me to come over here. She mentioned you on her show. I'm going to go watch ABL. I'm done with my broadcast. I'm shutting it down. I said, all right, pretty lady.
Wow. That was very nice. Who was that?
It'll come to me. I'll put it in the comment section. I can't remember her name right off the top of my head. She's something new. One time I went out and all your subscribers, all your commenters, I went down and subscribed to each one, and she just happened to be one of them. So
okay.
There was no particular rhyme or reason, and she popped up in my suggestion box there.
Okay. Well, yeah. Shout out to her, whoever that is. I appreciate that.
Yeah, she's very pretty, out of Texas. She knows who. If she's watching, she knows who she's talking about. I had a little bit of fun with her. I told her I'm going to move to Texas and vote for her. She runs for Congress next year, so yeah, she knows who I am. She said, "Where have you been, Uncle Reggie?" I said, "Oh wow." So, yeah, I think I subbed her last week.
Oh, is it El Michelle?
That's who it was.
Yeah, shout out to El Michelle. I appreciate her.
Yeah, that's who it was. And yeah, she popped up on my suggested. I was like, "Who's this?" You know, somebody I just randomly picked off of your comment section. That's what I do. I go down to your comment section and just pick people and sub their channels.
Well, hey,
and
man.
She just happened to be a content provider, you know. So
no doubt, man. Well, I appreciate the call as always.
All right, ABL. Everybody else out there, have a good one. Peace, and be sure to hit those thumbs ups.
All right, now. Peace.
All right, I'll catch you in the comment section.
All right. Thank you so much, man. Uncle Reggie for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. That's not my actual uncle. We're not related, but it's just his name. So shout out to him. All right. Let me get to my next call here. Okay. 765, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Mary.
All righty, Mary. What's happening?
Well, I was just thinking about the Mueller case today. And to be honest, when I was watching it, I'm a nurse. And I just kind of have this feeling that Mueller's got some kind of medical issues going on, like he's having mini strokes or something like that, because he had kind of a flat affect for the majority of the time. Every now and then he would become, outspoken, but for the most part, there were so many times that he asked the speaker to repeat the question that it was unreal, And I kind of just get the feeling that because he's retiring now, and I don't think it's a real coincidence, I think this guy's got some medical issues. Now, he may be playing, the Republicans to a point, too. I understand that. But, I just kind of think that maybe this guy has some medical issues going on, and maybe that's the reason for his timely departure from, service.
And it might be the case. That definitely might be the case. You know, why he retired. I think he retired for a reason, and that could be it, because he didn't look good on stage at all. I mean, when I saw him, just from a little bit that I saw live, I instantly thought about Joe Biden, because he kind of reminds me of the same thing. You know, if you look at Joe Biden's footage when he was younger, like not even that many years ago, just probably about 10 years ago, it's night and day from what it is right now.
Yeah, he has really slowed down.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he really has. I agree with you on that. I still wouldn't be surprised if he would make it to the Democratic platform as far as their potential nominee, just because he has so far to this point had a lot of support behind him. But, you know, he has slowed down tremendously, and he's not vigorous like Trump. Trump at his age is a very vigorous man, and, you know, he's very forceful. He knows what's going on. It's a very big difference for, you know, Mueller and Biden, you know. Yeah, but I just kind of think that it's a, you know, potential medical things there that, you know, he's retiring. And I think a lot of people are thinking, well, he just got this big case out of the way and that's why he's getting out. And it may be. I can't discount that. But I just felt like from his countenance that there's something else kind of behind the scenes there.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
Also, I had a request. I hope this won't seem too presumptuous or what have you, but I have not been able to find a way to do super chats because I have an iPhone, and I don't know if there's any other iPhone users out there who have been able to figure out a way to do super chats, but I haven't been able to figure it out. So I tried to donate through PayPal, but you don't ever mention the people who donate through PayPal. So I just was, you know, curious, is there a way to super chat for people with iPhone users?
I think it works sometimes. Like some people do it, and like I can tell usually when it's an iPhone person because they can't donate like on a even number. Like it'll be rather than $10, it'll be like $9.99. Like I can pretty much tell by that. So I'm not really sure how it works depending upon different iPhones, different versions of iPhones, if the app is updated or whatever. If there's a PayPal donation, I can read it off, but I think sometimes they want me to keep it anonymous. Like, you know, they want so, you know, I can read it. If somebody requests it, I can definitely read it on the air if I see it come through. Somebody said that they sent something today, but I didn't see it. Like, so I don't have it in my email here. So if I catch it in my email, then I can read it off if people request it for sure.
Oh, okay. Also, regarding the woman at the Publix who made that big scene and everything, that was just all for show. And she didn't think she was going to get caught up in it. Now, the funny thing of it is the supposed Cuban guy, he very much was Caucasian. I don't care what he said. Yeah. So I don't know if he's trying to put on airs and, you know, be like that Dolezal chick who pretended to be black. I mean, you know, I don't know who would really want to be Cuban. Not that there's anything wrong with it. They have great food. I'm just saying, you know, why do you want to pretend to have an identity that is not apparent whenever someone looks at you? It's just kind of beyond me. But I think that woman, I mean, she didn't think she was going to get caught up, you know, and showed to be a liar. And I really just think that was funny, the whole thing.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty crazy.
Okay, well, thank you for your time, and I appreciate your platform. You're always spot on your opinions, and so I really appreciate you, sir.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. Shout out to the caller. I most certainly appreciate him. All right. Let me get to this next call. 470. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Jay, man.
All right, Jay. What's happening?
Man, I checked out the thing today, man.
Hold on. Before you go on, I got noise in the background. Can you turn it off for me, please?
I got you. I got it. Man, yeah, they finna, I got through. I didn't think I was gonna get through. I wasn't prepared. But yeah, man, Mueller, excuse me, Mueller's done. He out of there. They're gonna kill him. I had called the other night. It was my first time calling. You know what I mean? So this is my second time. I don't know if you remember or not, but man, it's just weird, bro. How with the Erica with that situation, man. The dude, was he Cuban? They said he was.
That's what he said.
But was he?
That's what he
You know
said.
what I mean? You man, I ain't crazy, man. I don't think the man was Cuban, but I think that whole thing was from maybe the store workers all the way outside to her to everybody was just a plain old. They set that up. They tried to set that up good. You know what I mean? So I said that to say this, and along with Justice Smollett, we, the black delegation, do not claim Justice Smollett or that Erica lady, bro. We don't want to have anything to do with any of that of the sort. But back to Mr. Mueller, like just from a normal sense of just being around and knowing different traps and scenarios, man, that man was fearing for his life. You could just look at him and tell, man. It was like in their report, it was like either you gonna read this like this or this gonna. So it looked like he got tortured all night long. Like he didn't get no sleep, and they just poked and prodded at him all night long until he or either they threw that in his face. You know what I mean? It was like a rewritten up thing of what he had. Maybe I don't know. It just he wasn't ready for it, man. And for him to get up there like that and do that to himself. They pretty much just made sure. I'm pretty sure Trump gonna win again. And I ain't political. I never really have been. But like I said the other night, being around certain people in the black community, they would always say that Bill Clinton was the black people's president. I've heard that a lot. I don't think so no more though. They out of there now. But that goes all in hand, man. That they tried to. Do you think they gonna? Is it possible they might try to kill this man? Man, I'm talking about Trump. You know what I mean, bro? This is he not doing anything, and he letting them sink their own self.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The only thing, just being from hoods and stuff like that, somebody that you can't do nothing to, you try to tend to get them out the way. You know what I mean? So I hope they don't try. Do you think they would try that, man? I'm just curious as hell.
Well, I don't think so. But people ain't been talking about. They've been kind of like alluding to it. So, I mean, if they don't, they're gonna think about it. They might try, but I don't think that's really gonna be an issue. Too much security around them and too much at stake. If you don't want to get caught doing that,
man, that's crazy. It's a way that he got to give up the ghost, man. It's just it's like a catch-22 for him. It's either, you know what I mean, do what you need to do and die. You know what I mean? You do what you need to do to live, or go to prison. You know what I mean? He in a messed up situation. You know what I mean? Because they making him do what they think he need to do, which is wrong. The Democrats, they playing themselves, man. And you could tell he being forced, bro. This is not him. This is not normal. I don't know if he's sick, hungry, something wrong with him. You know what I mean? That just looking at normal human beings, like normal person, like being around normal people, there's something wrong with him. But and it's just me, y'all, I really think if y'all agree with this too, there's a way for them to get out of all of this, bro. And just, like I say, being from the hood in different situations and everything, there's a way for him to get out of this. And the way for him to get out of all of this is if he tells them what happened with Epstein. Because I believe they all know. That's his only way out. So that would be his way out. You know what I mean? That's just me just thinking something. You know what I mean? Just thinking. Because he out of there. You know what I mean? But he got to give him something. Anything that's going to save him as a person and save his life, he's going to have to turn to Trump. I think. But that's just me, man. Thank you for listening to me, but that's just me, bro. That's just how I feel about things. I'm going to keep calling in more, man. Thank you.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, for sure.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. I got a lot of other calls on the line, but I'm sorry. I gotta go. It's other callers, but hey, I can't do nothing. I gotta go ahead and bounce. Wrap the show up. Thank y'all for being here. Most certainly appreciate you. Been a fun show. I got super chats to read, and then I'm wrapping on up. Put a nice bow on the top. I'll be back with another live show on Saturday from 8 p.m. Eastern to 11 p.m. Eastern. I'm here every Wednesday and Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern to 11 p.m. Eastern. Call-in show. Always like a little half-hour beginning part where I just talk about what's going on. At 8:30 to 11 o'clock, I take calls from all over the country, all over the world. Shout out to the international callers. They call us all over this great, beautiful country, the USA, and everybody else watching. I really, really appreciate you guys. So thank you to the super chatters. We got one right here. Shout out to Arbiter 1117 who says, having some whiskey. Here's one to you, ABL. 2 thumbs up on content. If I had another hand, I'll get another thumbs up. Trump 2020. Hey, I appreciate that for sure. Shout out to Brazilian American Patriotic Soldier who says, shout out to ABL, Trump giving you a reward in 2020. Hey, that'd be nice. Thank you for that. He also says, all the ABLs, there's millions of white Cubans. Hey, thank you for that. Most certainly appreciate it. Shout out to my man Sushi who says more New York City police officers had water thrown on them. This time, 2 female officers. New York City mayor is a cause for these people's actions. He's a disgrace. So there's more videos. So I think there was 2 videos that came out that I saw. It was one in Brownsville where they said that they were just trying to cool off with the residents and it was purposeful. And then there was one in Harlem where they threw the bucket at them and you got guys who got arrested for that. Now there's 2 more that got water thrown on them. So has it become a trend? At a certain point, it's got to stop. But New York City, what are you really going to do? When people like Bill de Blasio in City Hall. But thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you for your donation and your support as always. Shout out to Zero's King Sword right there who says, thank you, ABL. Well, thank you for your support and your donation. Shout out to Psalm 91 who says, I'm 100% Cuban and I look white. Please do your research, caller. Hey, it's all good, man. Thank you for your call. I mean, your donation. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to G. Carjala who says, happy to be here, able to support ABL live. Always over the chat, too. And they gave me the peace sign a few times. Thank you for that. Most certainly appreciate it. Shout out to Joey Hartman who says, we're all racist. The way that word becomes powerless. Exactly. Everybody's a racist. You could be an animal. You're racist. You can be whatever kind of race. You're racist. You could be Mother Teresa, Gandhi. Well, that's a bad example. Anyway, you could be whatever you want and you're racist. So that word has no more meaning anymore. But thank you for that. Shout out to Jonestown Autopsy who says Elijah Cummings on his knees at today's press conference begging America to believe Democrats was priceless. Orange Man Bad 2020. Hey, it ain't working too much because nobody really believes them. Thank you for that. Thank you to Crush Groovin who says Night to Trump 20 ers. Hate must be stopped. I'm right there with you. Thank you for that. Thank you to Jonestown Autopsy again who says Democrats, and he has like the little nuclear thing. Nuclear Dems didn't figure out on a stuttering, stammering, hard-hearing Mueller. Well done, Bob. Hashtag roll the dice and impeach POTUS. Nadler, we dare you. With the other nuclear thing at the end to cap it on off. Thank you for that. Most certainly appreciate you. Thank you, Tommy, for the donation. I appreciate you. I'm not going to read that, but thank you for your donation. Thank you to Crush Groovin for the donation who says, bless you, caller. Thank you to Jonestown Autopsy who says, you are still a loser, Nadler. Trump Pence 2020. Appreciate that. Thank you to Stami who says, I'm bad. That's natural to me. Hey, it's all good. I appreciate you anyway. Let me see. Shout out to Psalm 91 who says, upgrade on the squad. Nikki Haley, Condoleezza Rice, Candace Owens, Cherie Murray. Hey, that's a good squad to me right there. I'm with it, but thank you for your donation. Thank you to Sushi again who says, Facebook to pay $5 billion, would it be, dollars for privacy violations. Trump's new name for squad. AOC +3. Erica Thomas is a disgrace. Mueller crashed and burned. Hey, great, fantastic way to sum it on up. Thank you for that. Shout out to Crush Groovin who says, no shout out necessary. Peace and love to all. Trump 20. I appreciate that. Thank you to Haley Cantor who says, you're a beacon in a light of dark, crazy world. Thank you. Thank you. Crush Groovin also says, forgot Ferris Bueller's 2.5-year day off. I think I pretty much got everything right there. So that'll be a wrap for me. I most certainly appreciate you. I'll be back again, of course, Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern to 11 p.m. Eastern with another live show. And, of course, all throughout the week, I'll be here with pre-recorded content. I'm doing my wrap-up of the Mueller thing tomorrow. And I'll also do a video about Kamala Harris saying that ASAP Rocky and Donald Trump, well, let me start over. She said that Donald Trump trying to help ASAP Rocky is a quote-unquote abuse of power, but trying to free illegal criminal aliens who are in the border facilities, trying to free them, that's not somehow an abuse of power. It's pretty weird, but whatever. That's going to be your new black queen, black folks in America if you're on the left. But I digress. I'll do that video tomorrow as well. And thank you to the mods in the room. We got T-Pain, of course. We got Streebs. We got Omar Adams. We got Liza Jean. We got Misha A. We got Ansel. We got Bill from the Hills. We got Protocol. We got everybody. Thank y'all for what you do at the time. Definitely appreciate you. Misha A., of course, the whole squad for keeping them trolls under control and keeping the chat room nice and clean. If you're in here trolling, out, you getting put over the wall. That's all I got for now. Thank y'all again, and I will see y'all next time. And until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.